Yeah, how about that? Oh yeah, it's weird how they do that, but yeah. Yep. You literally have it published already. Yeah. Yeah. What do you mean it's not out? That's okay. Mm. I've seen it about as much as you've been talking to me about it, so that's where we're at. Mhm. Great. That's where we want it. It's just you think the points are just not there. Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. Very nice. Ooh. Hopefully that goes well. Wow. That is a lot. Yeah. I was thinking like 4 and I'd be like, "Damn, we did it." Yeah. Yep. I am. Here he is. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna make him match my Karkadrak here. So that, he kinda because the I feel like the old default scheme like kinda fits for corn pretty good. But then it's also like the default scheme, so I feel like it'll fit both pretty good at that point. Nice. Sweet. That's fantastic. It does. Yep. And this book is big from what I remember. Yeah, it's what Yep. Right? We also heard stuff about it being like Dawnbringer Crusades and stuff, right? But that didn't materialize either. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All the standard stuff. Yeah. Yep. No fun allowed. Yeah. Not very much for sure. Yeah, because it's just gonna be like just like, oh, obviously they're gonna get this round type of thing. Yeah. Okay. Gracious. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's we'll have to keep that in mind when we get there because that's pretty big, I think. Yep. Oh, maybe. That they kind of like that idea. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. So it just doesn't make as much sense here. Yeah. Yeah, GW has this thing they really like to do where they make a book all about one thing and then they're like, but wait, hang on, we'll give you all the tools, play the other way, except units that can actually do it. Yeah, exactly. It's like, but they don't do this. What are you doing? Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Mm. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Probably. So they're basically, it's like this is the last hurrah for them, basically. Yeah. It's gonna be funny how that happens, and then they'll probably get nerfed into the ground, and that'll be the end of them. Yeah, I. I'll be honest. I still have the assumption that like, and now this just makes good business sense for them. So it's not like I'm trying to like bash them or anything, but like I think they probably have a bunch of extra boxes of like the elves and the dwarves that didn't sell, even though they discontinued them. So they can make them a little powerful, and they'll sell more. And there you go. And then they get rid of them. I mean, sure could be. Yeah. So it's like those don't need to be as good. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So you can get a lot more units within three as opposed to wholly within three. Wholly within three is like impossible, but yeah. Yeah. It's just how they play. Yeah. Just a play style. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. 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 Oh, okay. So if there's anyone to actually charge in this book, they'll do okay. That makes sense. Well, I mean that kind of checks out. So yeah. Yeah. Hmm. You know, it's funny. It also kind of feels like old school, old school like 18th century warfare, where the commanders had to like run out, like and give orders, and they were like kind of unreliable of like getting there. So you have to like set it at the beginning of the turn, not really knowing necessarily what'll happen, and then they just do their orders. Kind of has that feel to it, which is kind of neat. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Sir. Yeah. Right. Yep. So you basically kind of got to know where it's gonna be, right? But it's very obvious to figure out, I think. Alex, that never happens. I mainly play you, and you have no shooting. Yeah, sure. Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And it's in that great spot of you're not paying for it. It's not like you had to pick a sub faction to get it. Well, not really. Like you're probably playing humans anyway. And then you got got him. Oh man. Yeah. Sure, but like you have other things, so it's okay. Yep. Now, so how exactly do these? When do you place the orders again? Remind me. The beginning of the battle round. Okay. Camera one is silent. Oh no. I heard myself. I guess I didn't hear you. That's that sucks. Oh, yep, that is very true. Yep.
We really ought to do sound checks.
I did. That's the thing. I just heard myself. I didn't think to hear both of us.
Okay, that should be better now. God, that sucks. Okay.
Oh, yeah. All right. Quick recap then.
Yeah, quick recap. Okay, so the orders. All right. So if you command a Cities of Sigmar, you get at the start of the battle round, after priority rolls have been made. You give one order to each friendly Cities of Sigmar hero on the battlefield. If you do so, they get an order. Okay. Perfect. All right. Yeah. Thanks, Aldo. And then only humans can get human orders. Whatever. Okay. Let's go back down. Yeah, man. So there's two Cities of Sigmar orders that apply to every race, and it's a bubble of +3 to move, which obviously is very good. And then there's the counter charge thing. So like in the enemy turn, if they after they're done with their charges, you can pick a unit with this command to charge. It's pretty good. The humans have a return fire, which we talked about a little bit, makes them pretty like they don't. Yeah, if you shoot this, like you're gonna get shot back. So anything that does like little chip damage, you're not gonna want to shoot with anymore. So the existence of this alone is extremely powerful. And then we have suppressing fire, which if you do enough damage, you can give a unit strike last, and then you do a bravery test. And then engage the foe is on a charge, you get +1 attack, and it's only the first time they enter combat in a game. Okay.
And there was a bunch said about how it's broken into humans, elves, and dwarves, and you're probably only gonna want to play like one of them based on how the book is designed.
Yeah. And like when they try to do like these mixed arm kind of things, what usually ends up happening is that one of them is just like a little bit better than the rest, and and you're just highly incentivized to only run that one. And I'm pretty sure it's the humans this time. But I think the other armies are actually pretty playable. They're just not quite as good. You'll just see mostly humans then. Alright. Let's see. And then there's two Dwarven orders and two Elf orders. So the Dwarf orders are you reveal this at the start of the enemy combat phase. If you do so, you get strike last, but you have a 5-up ward. And you need to have 5 or more models in the unit. So, a good ability with a lot of downside and a lot of limitation. So it's probably not a good ability.
Probably.
My summation. And the other one is you reveal this order at the start of the combat phase. And when this model dies, on a 5-up, the enemy unit suffers a mortal wound. So kind of like the Corn Runner rolls.
Mm.
That's another one of those rules that they liked, and then they just started adding everywhere.
Yeah.
So I feel like the dwarves are like they're fairly horde-like, not as much as a lot of other stuff, but I think their minimum unit's 10. So like they can use it pretty fine. Just not egregiously like zombies can.
Sure.
And then the 5-up ward thing, not bad. But I don't like the limitation of you need to have 5 or more models in this unit. And so I'm pretty sure, too, once it hits 4, you just lose the ward, too. Which I think is a huge liability.
Yeah.
So I'm not super impressed with these. But then
So I just realized I missed a piece on the back. This guy.
Oh no.
I know. It's so sad.
I
It's
hate
not a
when that
cape, it's
happens.
like some flag sticking out. And I have no idea where that sprue went. Ugh. Oh well, I'll paint the rest of them and we'll figure it out later.
And we'll
Anyway,
figure it out.
sorry for the interruption.
No, we're good. Let's see. And this wheel, I don't know where this wheel goes. Alright. And then we have the elf orders. A couple of these are pretty good. So this one is at the start of your charge phase. You can pick one friendly Cities of Sigmar elf unit within 3 inches of this hero with this order. And if that unit makes a charge move this turn, the strike first applies to that unit until the end of the turn. So
that seems very good.
Yeah. We didn't super talk about this either, but since you can give the order to the same, you can give the order out 3 times. So that means like 3 things can charge in with strike first. And
you can give out any order 3 times. It's not just once.
It's not just once.
Oh, that's huge.
Yep. You get 3.
Wow. Okay.
That's awesome. Yeah. So like
Yeah.
triple strike first it's pretty damn good.
Yep. And it's everybody in 3 inches, right? Like all of the other ones?
Yep.
Okay, so you can have basically your whole army
Actually,
strike first. Is what that means to me.
It's just one within 3 inches. I lied to you.
Oh, just one. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I kind of want to check
how you structure your army. If you get 3 of them, and it's them and a unit within 3 inches, or just the unit within 3 inches.
Pick one friendly unit that is more than 3 inches from all enemies and is within 3 of the hero. So it's just the unit. Okay.
Just the unit. Okay. All right.
Yeah, for both of them. Okay. So, see what I mean though? Of like, all right, if I want elves and I want this ability to be good, I need 3 elf heroes.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, because humans can't issue the elf orders.
Right.
Yeah, so heavy incentive.
Yeah.
All right, and then the other elf order is swift disengage. And I don't know how to feel about this one. So it's at the end of the turn, at the end of the combat phase, you reveal this, and you pick an elf unit within 3 of a hero that is within 3 of an enemy, and the unit can move out of combat.
Wait, when does that happen again?
At the end of the combat phase.
Oh, so you can just like back out of combat?
Yeah.
If you want to. Interesting.
So I thought that was super good until I really thought about it and realized that they still get hit back and then they leave. And then if it's your turn and then it goes into their turn, they just go right back in. Or
yeah,
you know,
I think it's situational. I think it can be good though. Like if you're worried about like, do I kill this chaff that they're probably going to charge me with? It's like I can like bounce off of it. Like,
so they had to have not killed the unit because they have to be within 3 inches.
Sure. Like let's say they have like an anvil that isn't going to kill you, but isn't going anywhere, and they charge you, right, to just tie you up. You can then, use this order on their turn after they charged you, and then like reposition and recharge next turn.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And in theory, you could even get strike first out of it too, if you wanted to, by moving closer to a different hero.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I think
I think there's use.
There's use, and I think the real value is absolutely in command points or objectives and scoring.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it's like that thing's like 14 inches away from me. I charge you. Hope I don't die. I move on to it. It mine.
Yep.
There's gonna be plays like that.
That absolutely works too. Yeah. It's like one of those sneaky abilities that's like really hard to use for it. Well.
Yeah. So like, I think there's play in the elf side of the book for sure.
Yep.
And I think these are pretty good. The dwarf ones, I think, seem really good, but probably won't line up in practice. unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, they're old crappy models, so I don't mind them being gone, but it sucks for you if you already had the collection.
Right.
I think they're okay. I think they're playable, but they won't be competitive.
Yeah.
Let's see, what's next? And if you notice, we're just on to command traits, so that's it for Legion's ability. It's just these orders. Which, so I want to mention something there too. It's like if you don't have a hero alive, you don't get an allegiance ability,
That's weird.
which is like a huge like cost to this army, right? Like
Yeah.
I feel like you want minimum 4 heroes because of that.
Yep.
And I think they did a good thing in this book, and we'll talk about it later when we talk about individual units. Of a lot of the units, or a lot of the heroes are very cheap. They're like cheaper than they would be compared to other books, and I think it's because of that.
Yeah, so you don't have to sacrifice, having them and having the units.
Yeah, which I don't inherently disagree with.
Yeah, just as long as they're not like too overpowered, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Right, GW. Oh, that meme, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll bury the lead here. There's some things I have problems with as far as that front goes.
Yeah.
But I think when you're actually pointing them, you have to consider that.
Yeah, I think you do.
Cool. Command traits. So these ones are for the human general's order. Again, racist book.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So there's 4 of them, and I think 3 of them are hits. We have Divine Champion. Your general becomes a priest. If they're not already a priest, in addition, they know the Hammer of Sigmar prayer, in addition to any other prayer they know. Which is chant value 4, range of 12. Add 1 to wound rolls for attacks made with Cities of Sigmar. Human units while they're wholly within range of this character. So it's a 12-inch bubble of +1 to wound.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah, and then also just being a priest. There's like reasons you want that, like cure or heal, curse, that kind of stuff. Yada yada. We get it.
Yep.
Then there's Grizzled Veteran, which is the best that can happen on a wound roll against you is a 4-up. So 1, 2, and 3 don't work on your general.
Oh, interesting.
I like that if your general is a monster.
Yeah.
Or like a steam tank commander. There's a couple things that can hold that very well.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that will be played a lot. So I think there's like clearly some really powerful ones here too. Let's see. Next one, Master of Ballistics. And your general issues the all-out attack command to a Castellite unit in the shooting phase. Which, surprise, surprise, is the shooting units. They get +1 to hit and wound.
A hit and wound.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like that seems extremely good to me.
Yep. And to bury the lead, they're 4/4s, right?
Yes.
Normally.
Yeah, the core shooting unit is a 4/4. So if you issue that to them, they become a 3/3. So it's better than a 2/2, which you might think is the case, but maybe some units it will be a 2/2 with that. So obviously that seems like a really good one to me. That seems like a winner.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then the last one is a reroll charge for the general. And Cities of Sigmar human units within 18 inches of the general.
Okay.
It's not bad, but like...
So if you're going heavy horses, I guess?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like reroll charges in the bubble is a thing we see in a lot of books.
Or it's never
And
used.
it's never used because, like, you have better things that you can be doing, really.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, honestly, like the amount of times like charges that like I don't know. I feel like charges don't fail often enough for that to be relevant.
and if
that
they do,
often.
it's because they're in an asinine range.
Yeah.
And that reroll's not. It's going to turn
so
a game that you should have lost into a game you might win now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be really curious how often it comes up where it's like really like where someone's charging from like between 7 and 9 inches away.
Yeah.
That's not like discount like Deep Strike,
Yeah.
reasons for it, because I don't think this book has too much of that, right?
There's one sub-faction that can do a board edge.
Okay, all right. So maybe
Yeah.
there's some play, but I feel like that's kind of it, because I feel like most of the time you're like getting closer normally. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see the statistics on something like that.
I would be too, but if you want to take a bet, I would bet that the statistic is almost never.
Yeah, I'd guess it's very low. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that it doesn't happen. I'm sure people will be like, "Oh yeah, it happened to me and it was super relevant." It's like, yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah.
sometimes.
Like there's a story there, and that's like a confirmation bias.
Yeah,
But like I
exactly.
don't value that one too high. But it's not like laughable
You're
either.
right. Sure.
Yeah, I think it's
Like if
fine.
you have a good reason to use it, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I just think I don't know, which one do you think's the winner? I think we'll agree.
The shooting one?
Yeah, the +1 to hit and wound. Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems so good to me. Being a
Yeah.
priest, there'll be value to that for sure. But I think that one will be rare. And I think the Grizzled Veteran, there's a couple of things that could be big in this book. Like the Griffin Rider general, right?
Hmm.
Like I don't think either one of those Griffins are bad. I think they're pretty cool. And if they're like a player, that this could be a real powerful piece in keeping it alive.
Hmm.
Which that's pretty cool.
Now here's a question. So the shooting units, can they ever be battle line?
I don't think they can actually. Oh,
Mm.
ish. So you know how
Ish.
like the Lumineth have like this could be battle line for each whatever that is battle
Yeah.
line. Um, they have if the little Sigmar guy or little Sigmar guys with the helmets, the steel
Hmm.
helms. If for each one that is battle line, you can take a Castellite as a battle line.
Okay. All right. So as long as there's some way, was all I was getting to is that the then that means that they can double reinforce when they're battle line, and
Yeah.
therefore you can have a block of 30 of them with this guy next to him, and that
Yes.
whole group is shooting on threes every time.
Yep. With 60
Yep.
attacks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seems
Actually.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
I was
definitely
just trying to
pretty
think of like the quickest way I could abuse that, and I think I found something very fast. So
good. Yeah. Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah. Because like oh yeah, because battle line is actually impactful for the double reinforcement. Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. And then we have Lords of the Mountains, and then the Dreaded Leaders. The only elves that are left are the Dark Elves, so they have like all this evil theme.
Oh, interesting.
Let's see. So, of mighty lineage, start at the command page. You can say the general will issue a challenge, and it picks an enemy hero within 3 inches, and you get strike first. For this general, if all the attacks fight that hero. I don't care. And then we have insurmountable resilience. At the end of the combat phase, roll a dice for each wound currently allocated to this general. On a 3-up, the wound is healed. Which, that's hilarious. But I
Just
think
feels. Yeah, it's probably not doing as much as you think it is.
this is like something that, like, if you could put on like a 16 wound monster, would absolutely be broken, but you're putting it on like
Oh
a
yeah,
6 wound little dork.
yeah. You're putting on like a 5 wound guy.
Yeah, so it's just cute. But
Yeah, and is it once per game? Did you say?
at the end of each combat phase.
Huh? Okay.
So it's like timed aggressively correct too.
Yeah, it's just like still not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you know what it's gonna actually do? And the times where you're going to heroic recovery, you don't need to anymore.
Sure.
That's really it.
Now, at the end of every combat phase, so they don't need to be in combat for it to happen.
Correct.
Okay, so you can like if you get shot at with some chip damage, which actually is hard to do for like someone
With the new
that's
lookout
like 5
sword was.
wounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That seems pretty worthless. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to like I feel like you have to like jump through a bunch of hoops to put them in a situation where it could be useful.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
what I'm getting to.
the
Yeah.
payoff is just like cool.
Like, and look, it's gone. Woo!
Yeah.
And oh, you actually meaningfully attacked him the next turn, and now he's dead.
But again, like if they had a monster to put it on, that would be great.
Oh yeah. Totally agree.
Yeah.
But if we're assuming it's just some dorky foot hero, seems not good.
Yeah. And then the last one is the Masters of the Ancient Lore. Is you become a priest, and if you're already a priest, you get one additional prayer known.
Oh, but they don't give you a special one.
No, so it's significantly. It's strictly worse than the human one. Let's put it that way.
Is there like a list of do they have a special list of prayers, or is it just the
That's
default
actually
one?
something too. Is the dwarves have a scripture, the humans do not.
Okay.
So there might
Well,
be something to it.
this is an elf one, right? Was that, or is it this
These
the
are all
dwarf one?
dwarves.
These are all the dwarf ones. Okay, my bad.
So those are the three. And let's talk about the elf ones because I'm not picking a dwarf general. It looks like.
Yeah.
No. Unparalleled duelist. This one's interesting. Each time I hit roll for an attack made with a melee weapon that targets this general, that does not score a hit. Okay, 1 second. For each hit roll for an attack made with a melee weapon that targets this general that does not score a hit, the attacking unit suffers 1 mortal wound after all of its attacks have been resolved.
Wow.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And then, unlike the dwarves, you do have a monster you can put this on, and it's a dragon.
So hang on. If you're attacking me with a unit, right?
Yep.
Say a unit of zombies, for instance.
Yeah.
You just lose everybody.
Yeah. So I'm hitting on
Okay.
like 5s for example.
Yeah.
And I'm taking like 40 damage if I can get one in. That's an extreme example, but yes.
Well, it's an extreme example, except for the fact that like that's a unit that's actually used competitively.
Yeah.
So, but yes, that's pretty good. And I mean, even like threes or whatever on something, like they're taking a third of their damage back to himself.
Yeah,
to
that's
them.
the way I'm choosing to look at this. Is I think there's also a spell with one of the units too that gives -1 to hit. So there's like a little combo there.
Yeah, that seems really good.
Yeah, the way I'm choosing to look at this is that if you want to trade your like dragon general, you can charge it into something, hit it pretty hard, and then on the counterattack, do like because most things are hitting on 3s, right?
Yeah.
And if they're all out attacking, they're hitting on 2s, and let's say they have like 30 attacks, and like let's say only 1s work on this, right? Which is probably a very common scenario.
Sure.
And 30, they're still taking like 5 or 6 mortal wounds, right?
Yeah.
So maybe.
It certainly doesn't seem bad, and it's like really bonkers against some units.
Yeah, exactly. Like the floor seems decent, is all I'm getting at. And I think
Yeah. The floor seems decent, and like it's got serious upside
in
some matchups.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
I think so.
Let's see. Secretive Warlock, the wizard only, add 1 to casting and unbinding rolls made for the general. I think that's fine. Like it's usable, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then
good even.
Yeah, I would say even good. And then the last one is hero mounted on Black Dragon only. At the start of the combat phase, you can say that the general will draw power from their Draconic Blood Pact. If you do so, the general suffers 1 mortal wound that cannot be negated. However, until the end of the phase, add 1 to the attack characteristics of the weapons that general mount is armed with. So take it damage +1 to all your attacks.
How many attacks do they get? Like, is
There's
that
4
2
attack profiles. Oh, it's only their mounts, so there's 2 attack profiles.
Okay, so they get +2 attacks.
Yeah, and I think
for
they're
1 wound.
Like -2, 3 is one of them, and one of them's like -1, 2.
Wouldn't you rather have your opponents just hit themselves?
With the unparalleled duelist? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Because I just think that's way more damage.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're like alpha striking them and trying to kill them all before they hit you back. I think it's just
So the
just
first
way
time I
better.
read this, I read it as they get +1 to their attacks forever,
Mm.
and that seemed pretty good. But like until the end of the phase, that changes a lot of things.
It does change a lot of things.
Yeah, I don't
Indeed.
know if it would be like stupid if it was like +1 forever. It's like
I
a
mean,
reward for being in
if you could
combat.
keep redoing it, that would start getting nutty real fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially considering you could just heal it off and then do it again.
Yep. But they're also not the most um sturdy unit either.
Oh, sure.
So like maybe not even. But overall, I think there's a clear winner for trait here.
Yep.
And then yeah, I don't know. Like maybe you do a detachment of elf. But again, like it's hard to get value out of the elves orders unless you're bringing a lot of elves.
Yep.
So
Well,
like
okay. I mean, you could take like that guy and then like one unit of elves for the strike first,
yeah, until you
and
get two
then
combats at least.
yeah, or like if the black dragon's actually good enough by itself, it can issue it to itself, the order to itself.
Yeah, and then have somebody else strike first somewhere. Yeah, you're not
Well, I
getting
mean,
the
he could
wombo
strike
count of
first,
this,
right?
huh?
Like he could target him. He could target himself with a strike first.
Yeah,
I imagine.
he can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's double check that actually. Let's see. Pick one friendly Cities of Sigmar elf unit that is within 3 inches of the hero. So yeah, you can.
Yeah.
So like, I guess that's yeah. If it's the dragon's good enough to run, he can give himself strike first, and then have like the
Yep.
unparalleled duelist on him.
Yeah.
So
I
like,
mean, that seems pretty good to me.
yeah,
I don't know. Even
seems
even if it's
reasonable.
just like a one-off thing, then you don't need any other elves for that to work.
Yeah, I'm not convinced I'd rather do that than like just have more support heroes for my humans, but
Oh, entirely possible it's not, but it seems like a
it's
reasonable thing
that's what
anyway.
I'm trying to say with this book. Like the dwarf side, I like every time I look at it, I don't see it, and then the
Yeah.
elf side, I'm like, okay, somebody's gonna do
Like
well at a tournament with this, but
right. Yeah.
it's still not like the de facto build. I think.
Sure.
Yeah, but like that's something there. That's powerful.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about artifacts. Um, yeah, we talked about this one briefly together, but it's like Brazier of Holy Flame, and roll a dice each time a model would flee from a friendly Cities of Sigmar unit that is wholly within 12 inches of the bearer. On a 4-up, that model does not flee. So I see what they're going for. It's like you want half of your guys to run from combat, and then like in the one weakness of this book, you'll see is like a lot of crap is like bravery 5, so it is
Okay.
terrified. So they're like trying to
Sure.
cover a weakness by like just reducing your casualties by half, and that's
Hmm.
not like a weak ability. But I don't know. Doesn't it seem annoying to do like a battle shock already, and then like count the guys that ran, and then roll another roll? Like we're just
Yeah.
like adding a lot of time to this game with this roll,
Oh yeah.
and like it could have just been like half rounded up flee.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's interesting, right?
Mildly.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't know. Why didn't you just make a bubble of like plus bravery too? Like there's
Yeah.
a
Could have done
bunch of
that.
cleaner ways they could have done something like this.
Yeah, and given a similar ability.
Yeah,
And they were like, no, we gotta have it be new and interesting. It's like, well, you didn't though.
you had it
But
new.
okay.
Yeah, and this ability shows up in a lot of spots, unfortunately, in this book.
Mm.
It's whatever, really, but like,
Yeah. Oh well.
yeah. Let's see. Next artifact, Maestro Vivetti's magnificent macroscope. Add 3 inches to the range characteristic of missile weapons used by friendly Cities of Sigmar human units while they are wholly within 12 inches of the bearer. That one
That,
seems pretty good.
that does seem pretty good.
Yeah. I wonder how much. Because I remember, I think this is like straight up a port from the old Cities of Sigmar. They had this,
Okay.
and it was a pretty used artifact. And the idea was that like it helped you get parity on shooting enemy heroes like very early in the game,
Mm,
and it just kind of forced everybody to deploy 3 inches farther back.
yeah. I mean, that's the interesting thing. Like that, the longer the range, the more area more inches actually covers.
Yeah,
So actually, that's a decent chunk of area. Because what the normal range on those when they're not moving or have that order is 24 inches. I
yep,
think we said. Yeah. So that's a lot. That's a lot of area that covers.
yeah, absolutely.
Sure. So.
And like you can't shoot heroes anymore, which is probably for the I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that rule.
Mhm.
I have to play with it a lot more to see, but well, honestly, like just 3 more inches of movement in a bubble, I don't think it's that. Like that seems like a reasonable take to me
Yeah.
for a lot of reasons. Yeah, just changing the parity early on, and even if like a lot of the battle plans are 24 inches apart, just being able to put your entire army like another like 3 inches back if you need it. That seems good enough to me, to be honest.
Yep.
Ah, I got bronze all over his robe. Shit.
What are you doing over here?
Yeah. Oh, I'll fix it. Let's see. And then Semtex Grimoire. It's a once per battle. Boo. But you can say the barrel open the tome. You roll a d3, and then you subtract the amount rolled from casting rolls for enemy wizards made that turn. So, yeah. So you roll the d3. Let's say you get a 3. Enemy wizards
Yeah.
have -3 to cast that turn.
That seems pretty good.
I think so, honestly.
Oh, once per battle? Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
once per
boo.
battle, which, boo, but if they're going to be once per battle, they got to be good. And, like, that might cut it, if I'm being honest.
Maybe. Yeah. If it's like the key turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Maybe.
That's a maybe for me, right?
Yeah. It's certainly better than the like maybe do a mortal wound once per battle
Yeah, exactly.
ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it a lot better than those two.
Yeah.
Sigmarite Warhammer is pick one of the bearer's melee weapons. It gets +1 rend and +1 damage. I feel like we've talked
Oh,
about this just being a core. This should be a core relic. And now
something
it's
like
just like
that.
here. I'm like,
Yeah.
cool. I like it actually. That's a meaningful like buff. Like on the Cavalier, for example. Like I'm pretty sure he's like 5 attacks. Threes -1, 2 damage. He might be 4 attacks. Whatever the amount of attacks. But turning those to Rend 2, 3 damage.
That is pretty freaking solid.
Yeah, it's a meaningful buff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I think yeah, so like I feel like I would take this one a lot.
Yeah.
Let's see, next one. Flask of Lethethian Dark Water. Once per battle, at the end of any phase, you can say the bearer will sip from the flask. If you do so, you can heal d6 wounds allocated to the bearer. That is trash.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Next, Glimmer Ring. Once per battle, you can reroll, or once per phase, you can reroll 1 hit, 1 wound for an attack roll, or 1 save for an attack that targets its bearer. It's interesting. We've seen this a lot in 40k, haven't we? At least in the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't rate that one, to be honest. I don't know if you can change my mind.
I don't
If you
think I
want to
can
try
either.
to.
One for aphasia is pretty good.
Yeah, it's just like a reroll
Yeah. It's certainly not better than the previous one.
than the hammer.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm thinking. And then like rerolling the 1 save. I guess if you have like a character that has like a profile with like very low attacks, that they all do like a shit ton of damage, and rerolling one. But even then, that's like a lot of ifs. I don't know. I'd
Yeah,
rather just have the range, to be honest, or like the hammer.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, I think there's just a lot of things I'd rather do than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, this is better if you're running a worse hero. Good.
Good.
Right?
I'll run the better hero and give him the artifact.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I don't rate that one, but I think um the Magnificent Macroscope and the Sigmarite Hammer are my picks. But I want to
Yep.
see more of the Grimoire, and that because that might be pretty good.
Yeah, it has a chance at least. It's probably not going to be my first pick though, because
Yeah.
there's also times where it does mostly nothing. If like your opponent isn't focusing on magic, even if they have magic but aren't focusing on it, like
Oh yeah, and
it's
then
still like kind of junk. So actually, I think I rate that one worse just because of that. Like quite a lot worse.
yeah, it's like a silver
Like
bullet, and then like I'm thinking about
yeah,
it too, because like, what are like the big casting armies? So something like Croak that has like +3 anyway, and so maybe you stop a spell or two once per game.
yeah,
Teclis, who just does it anyway.
yeah. You can't even modify that
Yeah,
casting
and then
roll,
like
right?
Zinch.
Yeah.
Yeah, who like
So
that?
yeah, there's like a couple armies that yeah,
You really
yeah, it
care
just
about.
doesn't seem good enough.
Yeah, actually, I'm with you now.
Yeah.
I like the other two we mentioned well better.
And like it's almost to the point where if that was like I don't know. There's times where it wouldn't do anything even if you could do it every turn.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, you've convinced me. This thing sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it does, unfortunately.
Alright, you got it. You got me. And let's see. Dwarves and elves each have 3. We'll start with the dwarves. And then we have Book of Grudges. That's like a thing that's memed a lot, so like people are gonna be very excited to have that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what does it do? So at the start of your hero phase, bears more than 3 inches from enemy units. You can say they will read from the Book of Grudges. Do so. Pick one enemy unit that is visible to the bear and roll a dice on a 4-up. Add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made by friendly Cities of Sigmar Duarden units that target that enemy until the next grudge is founded. Do you really care about that? Does that seem anything good to you? Like, I'm not sold.
And one day.
Yeah.
Eh. It's like not reliable.
Yeah, it's like on a 4-up, you get a free all-out attack.
Yeah. You get a free out all attack permanently against them.
Until you switch your target. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And it doesn't and does it go away if that does that +1 go away if the bearer of the book dies?
That's a great point.
I don't know.
Um,
It says until the next grudge is founded, but does that
yeah.
does that text cease to exist once the artifact no longer once the bearer is dead?
My guess is no. But like also that clearly needs an FAQ.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah. And like
I
I
don't know
think
if
there's
there's any
reasonable
precedent for that
answers
kind of
one way
thing.
or the other, right?
What was that?
There's reasonable arguments one way or the other.
Yeah, I think so.
So I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
if your artifact bearer is dead, your artifact doesn't have an effect.
Yeah, that's what I would think too, at first blush.
Yeah.
But it does say until the next grudge is founded.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's why there's an argument both ways.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying what I
All
would
right,
think.
if you were a betting man, which one do you think GW would come back with? Not you, but GW.
What GW would come back with?
Yeah.
Um, I think what's gonna come back is nothing with this one personally. If I had to bet.
Probably. It won't be frequently enough to ask the question.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
not taking this anyway.
Yeah, sure.
So like, I don't know if actually we're ever gonna get an answer on that. But if they did get an answer, because that's a cop out, I'm gonna say
That is a
that
cop-out.
GW will rule that they're a grudge forever, even if the
I
book
think
is gone.
I'll be honest, I was gonna say the same.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. But again, I think what's always fair is play the conservative route.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
until proven wrong.
Yep.
But we'll see on
Yep.
that one. The
Or we will.
pile driver gauntlets. Fun. At the start of the combat phase, This unit is within 3 inches of an enemy unit. You can say it will strike the ground. If you do so, the bearer cannot fight. However, for each enemy unit within 3 inches, on a 4-up, the strike last effect applies to an enemy unit until the end of that phase. So, honestly, I don't really hate that. Because the bearer cannot fight. Like, I don't know. It's usually probably going to be on a priest or a guy with like 4 attacks. So who cares? And like a bubble wide, like 4-up strike last. Especially when your order tells you to have strike last and puts you at normal combat. There's probably something to that.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. If you're playing dwarves, this might be the pick. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And what's the last one? Heavy metal ingot. Ignore modifiers to saves for attacks that target the bearer. The bearer has not made a move in the same turn. So, I guess there's a bunch of thoughts I had with this one. The first one was, okay, so if you moved, you don't get your ethereal. Cool. And these guys are 4-inch movements, so like this is never going to work. But then, this will work on your opponent's turn, because you didn't move. So you have to not redeploy. And not pile in.
Yeah, because those all count as moving, right?
Correct. But it's still...
It's not if they didn't make a normal move, it's if they didn't move.
Yeah, if they didn't move.
I don't know.
I don't love it.
No, me either.
Alright, yeah. So we got an okay and 2 stinkies.
Yeah.
We got an okay and 2 low okays. That's how I'd put it here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. And then the elf artifacts. As once per battle at the start of hero phase, you can say the bearer will use the ring. If you do so until the start of the next hero phase, the bearer is not visible to enemy units that are more than 12 inches away. That's pretty cool on your dragon that they just moved entirely their army to shoot up.
Did they try to make the one ring of power here?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what they're doing?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit.
There it is. You found it. Let's see. Pick one of the bearer's melee weapons.
That's kind of cool.
An unmodified wound roll for an attack made with the weapon is a 6. Causes D3 mortal wounds to the target in addition to any damage it inflicts. So one of the Dragon's Rider's weapon options has 6 attacks. So that's the best mileage you can get out of that.
I don't know. This dragon sounds okay.
Yeah, like you can hide once per game and then charge in and get hit back.
Yeah.
We gotta read the scroll, but...
Yeah, we gotta read the scroll. And how many points, but...
Yeah. And then Anklet of Epiphany. This one's cool. Wizard only. Add 6 inches to the range of spells cast by the bearer while the bearer is on a terrain feature or contesting an objective.
Oh, cool.
Yep. So a really
contesting objective is probably really easy to do because it's usually like one in your territory, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it kind of forces you to play the game too.
Yeah.
So if you're playing the game, you get a bonus. I like those rules.
Yeah.
Good work. Well, honestly, like, I think 3 very reasonable artifacts. And, like, D3 on, like, a foot hero. Especially if the elf ones have, like, a lot of attacks. Which they might have, like, 1 extra with lower damage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a good synergy. So, like, I don't know. I think my honest opinion is it depends on what you're trying to do. If you just want, like, a support wizard, which you will when you're playing elves, I think the Epiphany is pretty good. And then the Shadow Shroud Ring is very good on the dragon guy. Or maybe even like just one value piece that you're really trying to protect.
Yeah.
Alright. Cool.
Alright, yeah. And then I think there's just like the make a silly dragon with a venom blade.
Yeah, exactly.
Often.
Yep. So we got spell lore. Alright, there's one for each mortal realm, I think, from the Collegiate Arcana.
One from each mortal realm?
Yep.
Oh, just one spell.
Yes.
You're saying? Okay,
not
spell.
Yeah.
Not a, oh my god.
Not one lore per, no.
Holy crap,
That'd
you had
be
me worried,
silly.
Alex, that we were going to be here literally all night.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you remember the old Battle Mage that basically Basically you picked a mortal realm and he knew his spell, and it was on his war scroll. So you picked Gur and you got +2 to charge,
Mm.
and it was on its war scroll. So everybody took it as an ally to get +2 to charge. Like Sylvaneth, for example, who used it to get a total of +5 and then launch something in. Or Stormcast, who used it to like translocate and then launch something in.
Well,
So
joke's on you, not on the war scroll anymore.
yep, it's not on the war scroll anymore. Get fucked.
Yep.
So let's see. What are our new spells? Because I think some of them are the same and some of them changed. So Fireball, casting value 6 in a range of 8. Successfully cast. Pick one enemy unit within range and visible to the caster. Roll 1 dice for each model in that unit. For each 6-up, that unit suffers 1 mortal wound. That is trash. Yeah.
Yep.
I think we talked about this a lot before, but I think it bears repeating. The reason why we're very low on horde clears that are 6-up is because if you do the math on them, like let's say like the average unit is like 5 or 10. So if you're hitting 5, it's not even 1 mortal wound. If you're hitting 10, it's like 2.
Yeah.
And then let's say you're targeting the thing that this was designed to be very good against. And there's 60 models in that unit of zombies. You roll 60 dice and you do 10 mortal wounds, and then there's 50 left. Huh.
Yep.
I don't really feel accomplished anymore.
Nope. I mean, sure, it can spike sometimes, but like, it's just as likely to not.
Yep.
And it's even worse.
Yeah, exactly. And on top of all of that, if you really want that effect, why don't you just like take another spell and then bring the Gravetide? That's doing that in an AoE on a 5-up.
Yeah.
And that just seemed like a bad design, honestly. Fuck that spell.
Is it casting value of 5?
This is casting value 6.
Casting value 6. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was gonna say like an arcane bolt does what? Like
D3?
maybe. Yeah, maybe
During
D3
combat.
damage.
Yeah.
So like it's against a unit of 10, it's probably at least as good, right? Is that even accurate?
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's an accurate statement. No, it's actually less good than an arcane bolt
On a unit of
against
10.
a unit of 10. Yeah. It has a higher spike potential, I suppose, but on average it's worse. Yeah. That's insane.
I would love to look at the bell curve of that, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. If you have to be a horde clear and you want to be relatively looked at, you gotta be a 5-up at least.
Yeah. If you're a 5-up, I'll look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see. What's the next one? This is on Mystifying Miasma. This one's from Shadows, range of 24, casting value 5. Pick an enemy unit. That unit cannot run until your next hero phase, and subtract 2 from charge rolls until your next hero phase. The range is pretty aggressive on that, which I do like.
What was the range again?
24.
Oh, that is pretty good.
Yeah.
Against the army I played against you most recently, I would hate that.
Yes. So there's gonna be a place for that. Paula Doom is casting value 7, range of 18. Pick one enemy unit within range and visible to the caster. That enemy cannot issue or receive commands until the start of the next hero phase.
Oh, there's a good one.
Who's taking that horde clear over these two, but best of luck to you, buddy.
Yeah, good luck to you, indeed.
Like, both of those were pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Foz Protection, casting value 7, a range of 18. Pick one friendly Cities of Sigmar human unit, wholly within range and visible. To the start of your next hero phase, ignore modifiers to save rolls for attacks that target that unit. Okay, so you give a thing ethereal. There's a lot of 4-up and 3-up in this book, so that's good.
Hang on, why are we taking that horde clear?
Oh, I don't even know, man.
Dude, I forgot that thing existed already.
Yeah, right?
Holy crap.
Let's see, what's the next one? Reign of Jade is a spell that has a casting value of 7 and a range of 12. Pick one friendly Cities of Sigmar model, wholly within range and visible to castle. Roll for each wound currently allocated to that model. On a 5-up, you heal a wound. So it's like a nice little heal spell. Maybe I don't see myself using that, to be honest.
Yeah, it seems like junk.
It does kind of seem like junk. Yeah, not as junk as that fireball though.
Oh yeah, sure.
Sure. Like I think I'm
It's
taking
still
that.
kind of junk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're ragging a little too hard on that fireball. We should leave it alone. It's
It's
doing
gonna
its
get its
best, you
feelings
know.
hurt.
Starting to feel bad. Sorry, buddy. All right. Transmutation of lead has a casting value of 7, range of 12. Successfully cast. Pick one enemy unit within range invisible and roll a number of dice equal to the number of models in that unit. For each roll
no.
that is equal or exceeds the save characteristic, that unit suffers 1 mortal wound.
Was that just better? What?
Yeah. So the bit I was going for was you're gonna read that and you're like, wait, that's just the spell that we just said we'd leave alone now. So it is a casting value 7 instead of 6, and it is a range of 12 instead of 18. So it's closer. And so, this is like the funniest part too to me. Like, I don't even know if I'm taking that because like most of the hordes, like a unit of 30 skeletons on a 5-up, that's probably really good. I'm trying to think of the hordes that exist. It's like Nighthaunt, which don't really anymore because you took away Bonds of Battle. OBR with their, and these both have 5-up hordes too, right? And like a big brick of OBR. And I guess maybe like enemy like Cities of Sigmar when you're taking your block of 30 Fusiliers. This will be a good way to clear those up.
Yeah.
So it's like the things that this is good at dealing with aren't that common in the game currently.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like even like this juiced up good version, I don't think I care.
It's still not good enough.
Am I being harsh?
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't see it, man.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's see. 2 more. Twin Link Comet. Range of 18, value 7. Pick one enemy unit within range invisible of the caster. Draw a straight line. Each enemy takes D3, and each ally has a bravery of 10. Kind of seemingly junk at first. I think bravery 10 actually matters a little bit. Except for, never mind. I'm taking that back. Because I was going to say, there's a heroic action that if you roll under their bravery, you get to count as 2 as holding the objective. But then I realized that that's a heroic action, so that's before spells go off. So that won't even synergize.
Oh.
I don't like this one, to be honest.
Nah.
And then last but not least, a wild form. Casting value 7, range of 12. Pick an enemy. Cities of Sigmar unit that was wholly within range, invisible. To start a next hero phase, the unit can attempt to charge at 18 inches, and it rolls 3d6 instead of 2d6 when it charges. So honestly, I can look at this entire spell lore and be like, why would I take any of them over that? Okay, I guess it's my second wizard. That takes another one, right?
Sure.
So like, yeah, I feel like the existence of that spell, and like this is a little hyperbole, but it really also isn't. Like, I think this spell alone means this book will always be competitively viable.
You think?
Yeah, because you can just have a 3d6 charge, like that kind of movement, just on a spell. I think alone
Sure.
is enough.
Well, so my only thing is like you said they don't have a lot of good charging units up front. So that's the only reason why I'm like a little hesitant there.
I mean, you have horses, right? So if you have one good charging unit,
that's true.
You bring a bunch of
Maybe
them.
That's just good enough. Yeah. The ethereal really calls to me, I'll be honest.
I think ethereal is really good.
Yeah.
That's my second pick here.
Yeah, okay.
I think
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, Faw's Protection. Maybe Paul of Doom could be a really good second pick.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're just a pure shooting army, you don't want Wild Form.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to look at the horses, and I think they're going to be too good to pass up, and I think you're going to run this.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're running a bunch of horses, it's very, very good.
Yeah. But even then, like, I don't know. Maybe you don't really want to charge in with just your horses, and you just want to hide, make them come to you, and then countercharge with them.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
could
so
do that
maybe you
too.
don't even want
Yeah,
that.
right?
Maybe you just Paula. Yeah,
Yeah.
Paula Doom with
And
the no receive commands. That's a super good one too.
yep.
Range of 18. That's excessively long. Yeah, minus
Yeah,
two
I
dexterity.
think they've got some really good options here. And
Yeah,
they've got some absolute trash.
yeah. This could have been like 4 spells and been fine. It
Yeah, but they
basically
were
that's
like,
how it
no,
should
no,
be.
no, need to do the thing and have one for everyone.
Yeah,
Alright, time to make a pile of junk.
and so like the horde
Turn on the
clear
junk
based on their
machine.
save. I think that's like a very specific meta call at best.
Yeah,
I'm not afraid to call that one a junk spell in most situations,
yeah.
but we'll see.
Yep.
I just think you have some really powerful stuff here, and that's like fine.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then we have the lore of dark sorcery, so the elves. I'm just gonna read all 3 of these, and then we're gonna pick the one that we want. All right. Sap strength, casting value 6, range of 18. Pick one enemy unit, subtract 1 from wound rolls. Pretty good. Okay, I thought it was hit rolls to synergize with that like command trait of getting -1 to hit, and then like each failed hit is a mortal wound. They thought of that.
They thought of that.
Umbral Hex, casting value 6, range of 12. Pick an enemy unit within range and visible to the caster. Still, at the start of your next hero phase, each time a battle shock is made for that unit, roll 2d6 instead of 1 dice. You know what? When I'm talking about like this book that's like really gonna get you with the elf book, that like somebody's gonna do well with it. I think that's gonna be part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I'm not looking forward to it.
Now, did it say, do you have to pick a target to roll the 2d6, or is it all?
You pick a target.
You pick a target. So isn't that just the target they use their
Inspiring presence on.
inspiring presence on?
Yeah,
And then you just
probably.
don't care? Yeah,
Actually,
that's my
a
only
good
thing
point.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like maybe it's also I don't know.
Wait a minute. Do we have anything that we can turn off inspiring presence?
I guess the horror guest always can.
Yeah.
And then the Geminids.
Are we trying too hard at that point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
And the other reason why is because of this next spell. Tenembral Blades.
Okay.
Casting value 7, range of 9. Range of 15 if you took that artifact. You pick a friendly elf unit, and they basically have infinite rend. So how it reads is
This one?
yeah. Until the start of your next hero phase, when making save rolls for attacks made with this melee weapon by that Cities of Sigmar elf unit, the the target save characteristic is dash.
And I remember talking to you about this a little bit, and we contend that this gets around ethereal as well.
Yep.
So
It's not
you're
modified.
taking this.
It's
pretty clearly.
Yeah.
What was that?
Because it's not modifying, it's becoming.
Yeah, exactly. It's like one of those setting, not modifying.
Yep.
Although you could call that a modifier. It is. I don't know. Needs an FAQ, I think. But
It's an FAQ, for sure.
but also, what the heck?
Yeah, it's just like I don't know. I feel like they kind of really phoned it in with the elf and dwarf section, and they took the first like rule that physically makes sense. And like this one,
Yeah.
I would have no problem with if it was like a hero. Like pick a hero, they get this, or they buff their own weapon.
Yeah.
That would be
That's fine.
awesome. But like you just pick a unit, and then like the Corsairs in this book, like when they do all out attack, they get +1 attack with their hero.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
like, I think the tournament list is just gonna be like the Corsairs, and it's gonna be like a brick of 30 of them, with like a bunch of attacks with this infinite.
Oh
rend.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's stupid.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah. So good rules writing, guys. Fun.
But maybe they're just not good enough to
play.
use it, so
Yeah.
it just doesn't see play anyway.
Maybe we're just gonna get shot off the table by Fusiliers, and if we see them bring in an elf, we're gonna be like, "Oh, thank God! I
Yeah.
get to be in combat before I'm dead." Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. We'll see.
Let's see. You want to see what these prayer scriptures from the dwarves are like?
Sure.
Let's see. Rune of of Unfaltering Aim. Prayer value 3, range of 12, pick a city's dwarves unit, add 1 to hit rolls for missile weapons by that unit until the start of your next hero phase. So 3 up, all out attack.
Okay.
Cool. That's totally equal to Infinite Rend. That's funny. Okay.
Clearly.
Rune of Oath and Steel is a prayer with answer value 3, range of 12. Pick a Cities of Sigmar Duarden unit within range, invisible to the character or the chanter. Subtract 1 from wound rolls for attacks that target that unit until the start of your next hero phase. That's a good ability, actually.
Yep.
I use that on Nighthaunt a lot, and whatever army can use it. It's pretty good. And then, Rune of Wrath and Ruin. This one's fun. So, Rune of Wrath and Ruin is a prayer with value 3 and range of 18. If answered, pick an enemy unit within range, and then roll 6 dice. For each 5 up, that enemy suffers 1 mortal wound. In addition, if a unit suffers 3 or more mortal wounds when this prayer is answered, that unit is ruined until the start of your next hero phase. And ruined units ignore positive modifiers to saves for attacks that target that unit.
Okay.
I just think it's so funny that unit is ruined.
Ruined.
Right? Like, I don't care what that prayer does. That's
funny. Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're ruined.
Ruined.
Get absolutely ruined, bro.
Yeah. Like, I think if you get that prayer and you get somebody ruined, you've already won.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
You've already won in your heart because you're so happy.
Yeah, you're playing dwarves, so that's like the kind of thing you need to win anyway.
Yeah.
That's it. I love that. I love that wording.
It's great. It's so super flurious. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I'm in love with that. Alright. As far as like an actual prayer goes, I think it's like the lower end of okay.
Yeah, sure. But it's great.
Yeah. But 5 out of 7 rules right.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. Overall, the elf spell, there's that one ridiculous one. The humans have a lot of really good ones.
Yep.
And the dwarves, you get the good
try fun. You're vibing. All thoughts, no fun.
You're
all vibes, no thoughts.
So far, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's like the elves. There's that one ridiculous thing. The humans. That's a lot of ridiculous things. The dwarves.
Good
luck,
you
get to hang your picture up on the fridge too, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh man, poor dwarves.
Yeah. And then
they're gonna be the ones that win. There's just gonna be
right?
something we missed. Yeah, I know. It's gonna happen. Yeah. We'll throw that out there now.
I don't think so. I'm gonna be very confident on that. And then somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, like somebody won a GT with this, like in 4 years." Well, not 4, but you know.
Yeah.
Like a year or so.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like, "Cool, they did it." A good player can win this game with a ham sandwich. Yeah, one person winning the game, you know? It's whatever.
Anyway.
So we got a bunch of sub-factions. And I even think a bunch of them are good. Which is cool.
Right.
So, let's see. The first one, Hammerhall Aksha, is you can give 2 orders instead of 1 with a hero. But they have to be different orders. And then in addition, if you run a Ventus Fire Strike in your army, you get an additional command point.
Wait, you can run a Ventus Fire Strike in your army? Just as like an ally?
So, yes, you can run every army as an ally in this book.
Mm.
And we should have mentioned earlier, like way earlier, that Coalition is gone. Good. Honestly.
So, I don't know if I've ever had, like, it happen where I was like, oh shit, I already used this hero's command and need to use someone else's. Does that happen often?
What do you mean?
Isn't that what this is saying? Or is it being
you can give 2 orders instead of 1.
Oh, 2 orders. I was thinking commands. My bad. Yes, no, that is good. Good, yes.
Dude, do I need to go back to the top where there's a designer's note that says orders are not commands?
No, I just misheard.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's all. I just misheard. I'm like, that sounds like trash.
Yeah, I mean, two
Nope,
orders.
never mind.
I think the internet's consensus is that this is trash so far.
It might be.
I don't know.
Sure.
I don't think so. And like, I
Now,
think
but you can give out each one 3 times, right?
yes.
So like,
I think three. Yeah, 3 inch. Like, I'm just trying to think of like the combos that you can do, right? And like, what's coming to my head immediately is the cavalry getting +3 move and the +1 attack on the charge. You
yep,
kind of
that
want
seems
those
pretty
ones
good.
together if you really want to do a good alpha.
Yeah.
Let's see, the 3 inch move and then either return fire or suppressing fire, so you're not like moving into position and exposing yourself.
What about suppressing fire and return fire
Yeah, if
for
you
your
need to
good
stay
unit,
put. Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like that all seems fine. I mean, it depends on the power level of the other. To be fair,
Yeah,
like if there's just better things for the things we're talking about, like okay,
yeah.
but
I
it
just
seems
think
generically pretty okay.
the consensus is that this one's trash, and I think that's so far from the truth, even if it's not the best one.
Sure.
I'm not taking this one first, though. We'll go on to the other ones and talk about it. But
Sure.
I just want to talk about the Aventus Fire Strike getting the special
Is
rules because she's the Magistrate of Hammerhall, right?
yeah.
And like, God, guys, please buy this model. I
I
do
have
want
one.
to,
I did my job.
yeah, I do want to say though that like, I don't think she's that bad because like a bubble of +1 to hit units within 3. That's not bad. Like that's a really
Yeah.
good rule in your shooting army.
Mm-hmm.
My problem with her is that she is a 270-point wizard that can't take a lore spell here because she's not a
Yep.
Cities of Sigmar.
Yep.
And she's a monster that has 4 attacks, 3/3, -1 D3 on her monster's profile.
Yeah. If they wanted to sell this model, they just needed to make them better.
Like, I'm
Like,
not even saying, like, I don't think even doubling the attacks on that would be like. I don't even know if that would push her into enough attacks.
right.
You know?
Like,
But,
just
like,
just up the profile
yeah.
already. Come on. Like, what are you doing? If the model's not selling, it's a cool model. It just does nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right? Like, just make it do something.
Just
You'll
make
sell
it do
more.
something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Like, just put it in reasonable territories. It doesn't need to be, like, overpowered here or anything.
Yeah, and, like,
Yeah.
honestly, like, I was really thinking about it. And, like, does this do enough for her, right? And my
Yeah.
thought was like, okay, so she's a 270-point wizard. That's a double caster. Has a +1 to cast, I think. Has a +1 to hit aura. And then gives you an extra command point at the start of your hero phase. Like, that's a lot for those point totals. I'm like, okay, maybe she actually is worth it then.
Mm.
And then I realized she doesn't give out orders because she's not a Hammer or Cities of Sigmar unit. She can't learn those lore spells. So her being a 2-cast wizard is like, okay, Mystic Shield, her War Scroll spell, it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, man. If they
Yeah.
just had, like, she counted as a Cities of Sigmar, I think
Yeah.
she
Wouldn't
be
that have
worth
been
it.
way cooler? Yeah.
Yeah, that'd have been way cooler. And it's
Hmm.
like, okay, you're giving up a sub faction to do that. I don't know. I think it was a real missed opportunity.
They tried, just not very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that part's just basically flavor text to me. I don't think she does enough.
Yeah.
But, like, it's such a shame because she was so damn close.
Yep.
Oh, well. Let's see. Tempest Eye. Tempest Eye and allied Caradron Overlord Sky Vessel units, including units embarked in them, can retreat and shoot in the same turn. Retreat and shoot's a very good rule.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're taking too many Sky Vessels, because, like, the biggest power of them is them being able to teleport, which is in their army and not here.
Right.
But it's I kind of like the design space of, like, interacting with your allies a little bit here. And I guess that's, like, one of my things about Coalition, too, is that Coalition was basically, like, just extra ally rules. Just, like,
Yeah.
have ally rules and have them work. That's fine.
See, I don't like any of these things, like I wouldn't play anything that's like unless I had both armies incidentally.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would never even consider this stuff because they change these rules so often of like what you can run with what and
Yeah.
what's even half reasonable. Like I just don't want to invest in it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because like I
I
think
don't know.
you did a Lithuanian Defenders at one time. You're like, oh, I want the cannon
Yeah,
boat and the magma drought, and you're like, cool.
yeah, and then it's just like whoop, gone. See ya.
Yeah,
Oof.
but
Right?
like
Like
even outside of that, like I feel like the idea of like souping armies together is super cool until it becomes like the norm of like what's the best thing to do, and then it's everywhere and super annoying.
right. Super annoying.
Yeah, that's a really good one actually.
I know.
Didn't even think of it. 5
Good job,
out of
Alex.
7.
Proud of you.
Thanks, man. But you know what I mean though, like,
Yeah.
because if it was like good and it was just like, oh, I have to run KO in my city's army now. That's kind of like I don't know.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like when the battle mage was like all the rage everywhere, I was just like I just don't want one though.
Yeah,
You know? Cuz it's like that's not gonna last. And then lo and behold,
and I
it
can hear
didn't
the
last.
comment section in my head right now. Jesus Christ, get out of there. Of like, you just said that you want like a Ventus Fire Strike to be usable in Hammer Hall, but that's like one model in like a
Yeah.
sub faction, you know?
The only reason I would want it to work is because I already have one.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose for the people that already have both armies, it's like, oh, cool, I can run different stuff or whatever.
Right.
But it kind of sucks when it's like, oh, I want to start this army, and then, oh, look, this sub-faction is just like, run this other army too.
Yeah. Exactly. You
Yeah.
know that won't stay. I feel bad for all the people who invested in Legion of the First Prince, and now
Right?
like it's
Yeah.
like dead. You know?
Yeah. It's like all of these soup armies inevitably die.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like, I suppose you can have fun while they last, but they're not going to. They never
Yeah.
do. I don't know.
All right. Back to the actual rules review, real quick.
Yep. Yep.
Because we're not even at War Scrolls and it's 8:30.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're gonna breeze through some of these. We
Yeah, so
guarantee
that one
we'll have a
actually
lot.
does nothing unless you're bringing Guardian Overlords too.
Yeah, I mean, but Tempest Eyes units can do it. So you get army-wide retreat.
Oh, and ally. Oh, okay. I misread. I read it as only Guardian Overlord allies can do this, and I'm like,
Oh, that would be
why
dumb.
are we doing? Yeah, I was like, that's what I thought it said. I'm like, this is really dumb.
Yeah, that's
Okay, at
okay.
least it's not that really dumb. Thank
It's not
goodness.
that. Okay.
Okay, great.
That
Moving
being
on.
said, though, retreat and shoot. That's not bad. But like, it's a lot better in 40k when you can't shoot into combat, but you can here. You know?
Yeah, and also if you're in combat with somebody, you're probably fucked.
Yeah. Like, this
Especially
game's
if
so
like
deadly.
your shooting units are getting into combat, like
Yeah.
that's bad.
Your one wound shooting units. Yeah, I think I'm not
Yeah.
sold on this one.
Nah, me either.
All right, let's see. What do we got next? Hallowed Heart, Wild Magic. This one's hilarious. So, whenever a Hallowed Heart wizard tries to cast a spell, they can do it on 3d6 instead of 2d6. But if you get a 10 up, you take d3 mortal wounds.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, I like that.
Sorry, I'm having a little trouble with the watching the stream. It keeps freezing on me, so I can't
Oh.
like actually like see it
Just read it.
properly.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand.
Here we go.
Okay. But yeah, so I'm 3d6 cast is obviously powerful. The worst case scenario is you get 2 of them off, and you can save it to like turn 2, turn 3, and like that's still a pretty good worst case scenario. I think.
Does that say 10?
Yes.
Yes, it does. Okay. Okay,
Oh.
my brain was tricking me into
Thinking it
that
was
saying
16.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Okay,
would
yes,
be
it definitely
nutty
says
at
10.
16, right?
What was that?
This would be nutty at 16.
Yeah, that's not happening very often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, and as we saw, there's some really powerful spells in this book, And it's not racist either, so like every wizard can do it.
Yeah. No, that as long as I can survive the D3 mortal wounds, which is fine.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it's after the spell's effects have been resolved, so you can, if you really need it and they're about to die, it's like, all right, they die, but here we
Well,
go.
I'm just thinking about like the wild
You do the
form
thing.
wizard. And you're like, I really need wild form to get off, and I need it to get off like probably only once, really.
Yep.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
You've done your job.
Yeah. And I mean, if they haven't taken damage, then it's like, okay, great, we did it.
Yeah.
We
You can keep
cast it,
doing
we can do it again next turn.
Yeah.
And even heroic recovery on your opponent's turn. Honestly, it doesn't seem like that much of a problem.
No.
Yeah. Seems good.
Yeah. So, if you need your spells cast, you probably do. This is a place to go.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hammerhall Gyra. So this one is you can include one additional Cities of Sigmar reinforced unit in your army. So you get you cheat on reinforcement points. In addition, if you have 10 or more models, your unit has bravery 10. I think like the first interpretation of this is that it's trash. But it depends on like how much you really want to reinforce your units, and I could see that being a lot with how cheap Fusilers are, for example. In addition, too, you have a heroic action that you pick 3 units and you roll 2d6, and if it's under their bravery, they count as 2 as holding an objective. So you're like, here's the Horde army. They also count as double. So I think your hold power is like obscenely good in an army like this.
Maybe.
You don't seem convinced.
I mean, you're obviously going to use all of those reinforcement points, so
Yeah.
my first thought is it does nothing for a unit of 10, right? Because
Yeah.
they're going to lose one and then they don't have the buff.
Yeah. So
So-
you're forced to use them.
Yeah. So that's hard to evaluate. I don't know. I just feel like I don't have guys running away enough to make that worth it. And maybe you do here, but like,
Yeah, bravery.
I don't know, I feel like it's-
Skaven and low bravery. It happens a shit ton.
sure, okay.
And like
Maybe
this
it
army's
happens
right in
enough.
the same bravery, even lower bravery.
Yeah,
Like this is the most cowardly army we've seen,
that's fair.
except for Gits.
Yeah.
But
Okay, maybe there's like maybe is there like a horde option for this army?
Fusilers, units of 10.
Yeah.
And now you can bring 3 by 30.
Yeah.
I don't. That might be overkill, but like,
Yeah, maybe it's fine. I don't know.
yeah.
It's certainly not my style army, so I don't really know how that plays very well.
Yeah, that's entirely fair.
Yeah.
All right, Living City. So for each guy on the table, you can take a Living Cities unit or a Sylvaneth unit and put them on the board edge, and then you can outflank them on turns 1, 2, and 3, kind of like how you would with beasts. And that's great, but I think they count as moving when you do that. So like you don't get your fortified positions right out of the board edge, which is fine.
Yeah, but it like hurts per turn.
Yeah. This is one of
Yeah.
those that like somebody's gonna have a wackadoo list that really relies on this, and it's gonna do very well. But I don't think it's gonna be the average person's take. But I think it's a powerful tool to have.
It's one of the things I've liked saying it's got a high exploitability.
Yes.
Like I don't know how it's gonna be exploited, but it's definitely there.
This isn't the power. This is the delivery mechanism. Like
Yeah.
what Warhammer Weekly would say a lot is like this is. I'm not countering demonic tutor. I'm countering what it fetches.
Right.
And like this isn't rated on. This is the demonic tutor. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This is the thing that's breaking the thing.
Mm.
You can almost think of it as multiplicative in a weird sort of way. Because it's like, this times the ability to do something powerful is
Yeah.
like super powerful.
I like that reasoning.
So,
All right, let's go on to the next cities.
Mhm.
Greywater Fastness. All right, you can use the all-out attack command up to 3 times in your shooting phase. In addition, the first 2 times a friendly Greywater Fastness unit receives the all-out attack in your shooting phase, a command point is not spent.
Oh,
That's home, right? That's like
that's
the most raw, powerful one we've read so far.
oh yeah. Oh yes. I'm not running Tempest over this one if I'm running a shooting army. Let's just say that.
Yeah, that's step one.
Yeah.
Step two. I just want to mention there's the command ability that you all out attack with your general and it gets +1 to hit and wound. You cannot triple issue that because the same guy can't issue it 3 times. So keep that
Okay.
in mind. But like that was the
Okay.
first thought I had. Like, oh, you triple issue +1 to hit and wound. Okay, this book's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, but no, it's not. Thankfully, it's not that.
No, so you have your like you have your block of 30, and you got 2 blocks of 20, and they get +1 to hit, and then the block of 30 gets +1 to hit and wound. And you just fucking blast them.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what it is. But that's good enough, right?
Yeah, I mean that sounds real good to me. I don't know.
Yeah, this one's extremely powerful,
Yes.
and I think we'll be seeing
Yes.
this one a lot. But also,
Yep.
their city color's yellow, and that kind of sucks to paint.
Just don't paint it yellow.
Yep. All right. This next one, I think, is kind of a sleeper, but we can fight
Okay.
about it. Is Lethis, and I don't know how much of this is just like this is the city of death in Shaif, and I'm just like all aboard and so into it, but we'll see.
All right. Probably.
Yeah, every Lethis human hero that are not wizards are priests. In addition, they know the following prayer. Range of 12, answer value 4. Pick an enemy unit, they don't get wards.
Huh.
So I think everything being a priest, and you have an army that is completely volume based,
Mm-hmm.
you can put curse on shit. You have horse guys that are very fast and pretty survivable that can have curse because they're humans and they're just priests now.
Human
The-
heroes. So it's only the heroes, right?
Yep, only the human heroes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, can you use the same? Are prayers like spells that you can only use one of them once?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have enough prayers for that to be relevant?
You don't have a prayer lore, which is the big glaring weakness
Yeah.
of this. Sure. I'll give you that. But I just think I think curse and this are enough because you'll have 2 priests. And if you don't need those, you have bless now.
Well, I don't think this one's enough because, I mean, yeah, people have words, but
Alright, you curse and bless then. So now you give your big block of 30 a 6-up ward.
yeah, no, that's good.
I think it's a lot better than it seems.
Sure. I can give you that.
Okay.
I'm not sold on it.
I know.
I think I'm fighting you on this one.
Because it's the weird tech one and you don't like it. I get it.
I just don't think it's got the raw power.
I mean, I guess curse is only a 4-up. But you pick one thing, and then your entire army that's like 24-inch range volume is doing mortal wounds on 6s in addition.
Sure, but do you already have a priest available that you could take instead?
Not one that's mobile.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be.
I think there's actual merit to that. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Let's see, Vindicarum is on Vindicarum units can receive the rally command while they're within 3 inches of enemy units. Boo! In addition, when a friendly Vindicarum flagellant unit receives the rally command, you can return 1 slain model to that unit for each 5-up instead of each 6. Boo! 5-up's not too bad, but
no. But in combat,
yeah,
there's a reason they got rid of that.
yeah, exactly. Stop it.
Now, is it only a specific unit? Flagellants?
Flagellants get it on a 5-up. And they have the rule that, like zombies, when they die on a 5-up, they do a mortal wound back.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, indeed. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
You see the problem now?
Right. Yeah. It's even more of a problem than I thought it was already.
Yes. Alright. Well, and that unit is 80 for 10. And it is conditional battle line. When you bring
What's
a
the
hero that
condition?
is, I think, 100 points undercosted.
Oh.
So this one's good.
That one's good.
Yeah.
If you want to just spam flagellants, that seems like the play.
Also, that kit's awful. He 3D print with flagellants.
Is it that bad? Is it old?
It's like, yeah, super old. We'll get there and you'll look at their monkey faces and you'll be like, oh,
Oh boy.
alright, I get it. But yeah, I need a yellow paint that I don't have, but this is the guy so far.
Ooh, very nice.
I'm actually pretty happy with that. But like, I just
My
want
guy.
yellows for up here and then the eyes.
Nice. My guy's getting there.
Yeah.
I'm still blocking out the base colors. So.
Alright. We'll read
Doesn't look
these
like
and
much
I'll
yet.
probably pull out the something to build.
Yep.
Okay. So Excelsius is add 1 to wounds characteristics.
Dude, how many are there? Oh my god.
9.
Isn't this 10, 11, 12?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. There's 11. We're gonna breeze through the War Scrolls. Alright.
There's a lot of these. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
we're gonna
Yeah,
breeze
okay.
through them. So I think the real
Wow.
deal in this book is actually this anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Let's see. So add 1 to wounds characteristics of monsters. In addition, each time an Excelsior Free Guild Cavalier unit fights, after all the attacks have been resolved, pick one enemy unit within 3, roll a dice for each model in this unit of Cavaliers for each 4 up to a mortal wound. So every horse becomes a mini evocator. And then your monsters get +1 wound.
That sounds pretty good.
It seems good, but it also seems like very tame compared to like some of the other ones.
Sure, yeah.
Horses are pretty cheap though for what they are, so that might be cute.
So like maybe.
Yeah. Settler's Gain. This one's so funny to me. Add 1 to casting rolls for Settler's Gain wizards. In addition, you receive 1 command point if the model picked to be your generals within 3 inches of a Lumineth Realm Lord hero. Why would you ever take that when you could take Hollowed Heart?
I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Great.
Last one, Misthoven. The end of your hero phase, you can pick 3 different friendly Misthoven units that are more than 12 inches from all enemy units. Each of those units can make a move of up to d6. Roll separately for each. If that unit has a mount, it can make a move of 2d6 instead of d6. You cannot finish a move within 3 inches of an enemy. That's a lot of movement.
Yeah.
So that dragon that we were talking about is a mounted thing. So it gets 2d6 plus its move.
Wow.
Because it doesn't say you can't move after, because that would make it totally useless.
Yeah, it would.
So, I think that, and I think cavalry armies are going to really like this Misthaven. Or Misthoven, actually. Because that's what that symbol on top of the A is, that it makes it an O sound.
Fancy.
Yep. With the Orders of the Warriors of Pentus and the Darkling Covenant. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is the elf book. This is the elf one. Obviously.
Yes.
But it's not racist, so Misthoven units. So humans and dwarves can be affected by it too. And it might be a way to get around the dwarves' 4-inch movement book-wide. But
actually, that is funny and probably what you do.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the dwarf one too, actually.
Yeah, there was nothing that like it's probably not the elf one, honestly.
Yeah, because it's
probably already you're doing fine. Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. That might just be the one anyway, because that's so much movement.
That is, yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, but like overall, there are like 5 of these that I think I could see seeing substantial play.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like what is the best of the best? What can I put the most power into?
My money's on Greywater Fastness being the first one to 5-0. Because I think most people are going to be playing that out of the gate. Because that's just like, I don't want to say brain dead powerful, but that's just like obviously good, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to play a trick to do it.
You just do your thing,
Yeah.
and you do it well.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I agree with that 100%.
Cool. Grand strats, battle tactics. I'll leave them here for a second. Um, I don't remember. I don't think I even read these really. So you need a Sigmar unit. You need an Elf unit for one of them. So that's like at least limiting. Includes a hero. There's one that's like suppressing fire and then you kill it, which is kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember these being very good, thankfully, because they shouldn't. Book battle ones should not be good.
Yeah, because they just validate the
Yeah.
core ones. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, we're done. We got a core battalion that is unified and a free once per battle, or unleash hell or all out attack, and you need 3 Fusilier units, the guy in the ogre, an artillery piece, and you might take an extra guy in the ogre. That's okay.
Yeah, sounds okay.
Yeah. All right, units. Lightning round here. Okay.
Yep.
Thalia Verda, 15 wounds, 4 up save. She's War Master in Hammerhall Aksha, 6 up ward. She has she has like 3 attack profiles with very few attacks, but are pretty good with their damage. So 6 attacks, 3 threes, -1, 2 with her sword. 3s that have 3 damage. Yeah, 3 with 2 up, 3 up, and then 2 attacks that have D3 plus 3 that bracket. So she's fine. She has a monstrous action that if she gets charged on a 3 up, she gives an enemy monster strike last, which is pretty good.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah,
model's sweet.
The model is amazing.
Yeah.
She can give 2 orders by herself always.
Oh, nice.
And then I don't like this, but let me tell you. Let's see. Let's read it. While this unit is within 3 inches of an enemy unit, this unit can issue the rally command to a friendly Cities of Sigmar unit while they're within 3 inches of an enemy unit. In addition, you can return a slain model on a 4-up. Man.
You don't like that, huh?
This model had me so sold until that rally.
And now you're still super sold, you're just sad about it.
Yeah, because that rule is obviously good. But, like, in all fairness, she has to be in combat. She has to issue a thing that's in combat, so it is pretty limiting.
Yeah, it is.
So, like, I feel like they're trying to learn a lesson here. Just really aren't.
It does have a 4-up save, too, so that's limiting. 15 wounds is a lot, though, to punch through.
Yeah.
To be fair. And you can make her ethereal.
Yeah.
Is she a wizard by herself?
She is not.
Yeah. Okay.
She's 340. Which, I mean, I think that's really good for what's on the tin.
Yeah.
I don't think it's, like, too much, though, you know?
Right.
Like, I think that's a very fair cost for her. So she probably won't get played much.
Yeah. Oops, you were fairly costed. Get out of here.
Yeah. But that model is sweet.
Yes, it is.
Like, this and, like, a couple other things are just like, I want to, but I can't do a city's army.
No way. Or I'm not, anyway.
But, like, they're so cool.
Yep.
That's going to be one that I'm going to try to, like, get as a commission work job.
Oh, yeah, so you can, like, do the paint, build it, paint it, enjoy that bit, and then give it away.
Get it out of here.
Yeah, it's like, so you'll...
Because, like, I do like the army a lot, personally, but, like...
Yeah.
There's only so many armies you get to play in a day.
Yep.
Yeah, and I just really like the Fusilers, like, that whole line. So cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Pontifex Zenestra. So this is the one where she has the prayer. On a 3-up, you get to do 2 things if you're in your opponent's zone, or 1 thing otherwise. And the things are 18-inch bubble of 5-up ward. That's really good on your gun line, especially with a holy with an 18.
Yeah. That's pretty good range.
Add 2 inches to the move characteristic of human units on the battlefield, not even within range.
Holy crap.
Yeah. And then you roll for each at the start of the combat phase, after this unit fights, roll a dice for each enemy unit within 3 inches on a 2-up D3 mortal wounds. And nope. And then the last one is roll the dice for each enemy wizard and priest on the battlefield. On a 2-up, they take D3.
Wow.
Yeah, 9 wounds, 5-up save, 4-up ward. Shit attack profiles. And I think I played a game with a lot of people. How many points do you think this thing's worth, right? How many points would this have to be to not be an auto-include in your army?
A lot more than it is, because I already know the cost.
You already know the cost, but like, I think when we were going through this together, I'm like, oh, this thing's like 240 points. Like,
yeah,
I think she's an auto-include. And then we looked her up and she's 150.
Yeah, it's like
oh,
what?
Okay.
Hello? Like, what do you mean?
She also makes Flagellant's battle line.
Oh, she's the one that makes Flagellant's battle line?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So that's like a secret buff that we don't even see here.
Wait, so you can, like, hang on. So you can have this, like, ridiculous, like, huge army that explodes on death and everything.
Yeah.
And then also... And then be able to rally them well with the sub-faction, but then also they might not die because,
She's
like...
got a 5-up ward, army-wide.
5-up ward? And they can move faster?
Yep.
Okay.
The Flagellants are right below her, too. So, 2 attacks, 4 4s, no run, 1 damage. 80 points for 10, I believe? It doesn't say here, of course. But, yeah, actually, I can pull up the pitch profile. I believe it's 80 for 10. And then they die, they explode on a 5-up when they die. So we thought, like, Blood Reavers were a problem, but no, like, this is, like, at least twice as good.
Wow.
Oh, of course, the points just disappeared on my phone. Stand by. Let's see, Flagellants. Okay, they're 100 for 10. Not quite as bad. Okay.
100 for 10? Okay, not as bad, yeah.
Yeah. Still, I think that's excessively good.
Oh, probably.
Because aren't Blood Warriors, or Blood Reavers 5? Or is that a unit of 10?
It's a unit of 10.
For 80. Okay, so they're a little better, but I don't have all that synergy for the rallying. But, you know,
right.
That's okay. They're probably super dead anyway before they rally.
Yeah.
So, that's it.
Yeah, they got a sick sub save, so that's not getting them anywhere. Yeah, they have an 8 bravery, weirdly.
Yep. Remember when I said everything has a 5 bravery? We'll see it later. Them. Yeah. The heroes don't. They don't. They're 8, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Alright. Free Guild Marshal. I think he was something like 280. He's like a pretty general monster. Leader Behemoth. Oh, 250. Oh, that's Battle Mage. What are you called? Free Guild Marshal? 270. 15 wounds, 4-up save. You add 1 to the lance. Is rend and damage when it charges. That's pretty cool. What does he do? When he roars, you can pick 2 enemies to roar.
That's kind of cool.
And he can be given 2 orders instead of 1. So I honestly think he does a lot for this army.
Yeah.
For 270. Like that. He's kind of like the unnamed version of Thalia.
I was literally just about to say the same thing. Yeah. That's what he seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that model is old as shit, but it kind of holds up, doesn't it? Like it's hard to see.
Oh, it's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Griffin a lot.
I mean, I could see with like how similar that is. I could see running Thalia and just being like, "Look, I have the generic unnamed one."
I wonder if it's the same base size too.
Probably.
You could probably do a sweet conversion by just putting a bird head on that.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Or just like just do a more generic person.
Yeah.
On the same mount.
Mm-hmm. Either way, I like this thing a lot at its point cost.
Yeah.
Free Guild Marshal on foot. He has the heroic action that 3 things within 18 can count as 2 on the objective if you roll under their bravery. Yep. Oh, he can deliver it once per battle. Okay, that's a little different.
That is different, yeah.
Alright. And then At the start of your hero phase, you must choose this unit's relic envoy to attend the marshal to deliver a message. And I think it's a free command ability.
Wait, they do all those words just for like you can do a free command.
Yeah. If you choose the
Oh.
relic envoy to attend the marshal, you can carry out a heroic action with this unit in addition to any other heroic action. If you choose the relic envoy, oh, okay, so you get to choose to accompany the guy or go out and deliver a message. If you deliver a message, it's a free command ability to somebody wholly within 12. If you stick around, you get 2 heroic actions.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
I really like that.
Yeah, that's fun.
The guy is 90 points.
Oh.
So he's super cool for that point cost, honestly.
Yeah.
Let's see. Free Guild Cavalier. Marshal. How many points are you? You are 120, which is wicked cheap for a mounted hero. But maybe he doesn't do anything, right?
Maybe.
He's got a pistol with 2 shitty shots. 4 attacks, 3s, 3s, -1, 2 damage. Okay, this is the guy I was talking about with the hammer. Be 4 attacks, 3s, 3s, -2, 3 damage.
Oh, yeah.
So, he does the strike in tandem thing that the Slaves of Darkness, Chaos Lord, and the Karkadrak do.
Yep.
Also, when he carries out their finest hour, Cavaliers within 12 inches of him get +3 to charge.
Oh, that's interesting.
I think that's a super cool rule.
Yeah.
But also, like, 7 wounds, 3 up save, 120 points for all of that. Doesn't that seem like a little cheap?
Yeah.
Like, doesn't it seem like if this guy's 120, isn't the Karkadrak like also 120? Isn't the Chaos Horse like 90?
Yeah, probably.
120, right?
I mean, granted, I think they do more damage, but I have a little bit.
Karkadrak definitely does. I don't think the Chaos Lord does.
No, I don't think the Chaos Lord does. Chaos Lord is what, 180?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And this is what, 120 you said?
120.
Wow.
Like this, unlike like what I said earlier, the units need to be cheaper because you don't have an allegiance without your heroes.
Sure.
That's still too cheap.
I think. I mean, you do have your sub-faction, which some of those sub-faction abilities are very good.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Oh, so you might even be pushing back on the you don't have your allegiance if you don't have a hero?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. But I think a lot of army sub-factions are good now, too.
I mean, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think 150 is actually correct for this guy.
Probably.
Yeah. Now, next hero, Alchemite Warforger. So he's a wizard, and he has to know, if you pick from the lore of Collegiate Arcana, he has to know Transmutation of Lead. One that we said was bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Rough start. So.
Yep.
What's his War Scroll spell? Casting value 7, range of 12. You pick a Cities of Sigmar unit wholly within 12 inches of the bearer. And they get Blazing Weapons, which means on a hit roll of 6, they do a mortal wound in addition to their other profiles. Okay, never mind. I don't care about his spell anymore.
Yep.
Yep, and this is also another curse. And you can stack that with Lethis too, which is super cool. However, you're probably not casting spells, because start of your hero phase, he can stoke or expand the power of the fire. And if you stoke it, you get +1 to cast. Actually, that's super good. And if you expend it, you make a 12-inch bubble of +1 save for City of Sigmar humans.
I think I'm doing that most of the time.
I think you're bringing 2 of these. Because he's also a wizard with +1 to cast with a ridiculous spell.
Yeah.
And you can bring 2 of them because they're 90 points.
Oh my god, what?
Did you not know that before this show?
No, I didn't know they were 90. What is that?
That thing's 90 points, dude.
Okay.
It's really funny. I was talking to, like, one of my friends, and I was doing the guess how many points, and he's like, I would be tempted to spend up to 180 points for this, and I think that'd be auto-include. I'm like, it's 90. He's like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Dude, that is wild.
Yeah, you're bringing 2 of these in every army.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
think
why
you
you
are.
don't.
Like, +1 save, like,
And a
within what, a
12-inch bubble.
12-inch bubble?
Yeah.
Or you can easily place those to like cover everything relevant in your army.
And I think a lot of people are going to say this thing is worse, or it's just strictly better than the guy in Stormcast that gives the +1 save.
Right.
But there is a counter argument of you can like set it and forget it, and then you can launch that guy that you gave the +1 save into the front of things, and they still have the bubble, or they still have the save, and you don't have to worry about the bubble, right?
That's true.
Counterpoint. This is a shooting army. You're not launching anybody up by themselves.
That's about what I was. That's what I was gonna say.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm like, but also you're not doing that.
Yeah,
And this is perfect in the army where you're staying put.
This guy's literally too good.
Yeah. Wow.
180.
Okay. 180 for 2.
Okay. Battle Mage. So he's a 1-cast wizard. He's 100 points, and you get a list of trinkets that you get to pick. There's a couple that are okay. There's a +1 to cast. There's a +1 to unbind. And there's like a +6-inch range on your spell. And then the rest of them I don't super care for. But I imagine people are going to take the +6 inches to range the spell and then do something nutty with the Collegiate of Arcane Lores. I don't quite know yet. But other than that, I think you just take the Alchemite guy every time. But you need him to do your other spells, though. So maybe you don't. Because the Alchemite can only know transfer.
Right, yeah,
metal,
the
right? So if you
transmute
really
lead.
need a wild form, you probably want one of these with a +1 to cast. The
Dude, those
command one
models
at
look
+6
really
inch
old.
range, 24-inch range, that thing can't do commands. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
100 points is pretty cheap.
It's more than the last guy?
Yeah, it's more.
Okay.
Alright, man. Good order.
This book is weird.
Yeah, this book's weird. But then you can do the Battle Mage on Griffin. They're 250. And...
That sounds way too reasonably costed.
Right. The spell is kind of junky. It's like an 18-inch... Oh, actually, 18-inch range. You draw a line, and every enemy under the line on a 2-up takes D3. If it's a monster, takes 3. I didn't realize it was 18 inches. I thought it was going to be like 9. So that might be something.
That might be something, yeah.
The beaks, on a hit roll of 6, it's 2 hits. What do the beaks do? 6 attacks, 4s, 3s, -1, 2. That's alright. Honestly, like, yeah, you're right. He's reasonably costed in the book of, my word, unreasonable.
Yeah. Like, his damage is, what, okay?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't love him. I like the other guy a lot better, the double order.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And, like, if you really need a spell with him... Like, if he was a 2-wizard, I think he'd be reasonable.
Yep.
But, yeah, 250 for that? He could go down.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah. Battle Mage and Celestial Hurricanum. So one of them's a wizard, one of them's not. It's a bubble of +1 to hit. You pick an enemy unit with an 18. And on a 2-up, they take D3 mortal wounds. Add 1 to hit for Cities of Sigmar, units wholly within 9. And then the wizard has a Chain Lightning spell. Pick an enemy, D3 mortal wounds. On a 4-up, pick another thing within 6, D3 mortal wounds. Yeah, I don't care about these, I don't think. I gotta find their points, though. Battle Mage and Celestial Hurricanum is 260. And then just the regular Celestial Hurricanum. Oh boy. I don't even know where this thing is, Bill. Is it a behemoth?
Oh, probably.
Yeah, 230.
Hmm.
I just think you have so much better. But it's reasonable, you know?
Yeah.
Alright, let's move on. The Luminarch, this used to have like a laser beam attack. I think it still kind of does. You pick a point. Roll dice for each unit that has any models across. Okay, so pick a point within range of the shooting mod. Okay, so it's got a 30-inch range shooting, and you draw a line, and everything over it on a 2-up takes D3 mortal wounds. Okay, so it's a lot less damage, but it's just spread out farther. Okay, it used to be like 3d3 mortal wounds to something.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And it's like an R of 6-up ward. I don't care about these either, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, 250, and then the regular Luminarch is 220. So like a mediocre shooting attack for that much points.
Not in this book.
Not in this book. We got the Free Guild Command. This is a unit of 4 guys, I think. 1 Arc-Knight, 1 Great Herald. Oh, it's 5 guys, and they each have a different ability. It's like the Gabapalooza, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I forget. It's Free Guild Command Squad. Yeah, 170. Oh, for 6 of them. Okay. Each one has a different ability. One of them gives the unit a 4-up ward, which is pretty good. One of them heals the unit D3 mortal wounds. One of them lowers does that like on a 4-up, they don't run instead ability. Retreats, you can add D3 to the move.
The thing I don't like about Gobblapalooza, and by extension this, is just like it's so many like minor abilities that I have to remember.
Yeah.
It's just like so taxing.
Yeah, so I'm just like trying to parse through it. And I think the biggest thing is like it's a model return thing. That's pretty cool with the hacksaw.
Yeah.
You can steal command points. And then it's just an 18 wound thing with the 4-up ward.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think.
With like okay attacks overall.
Yeah.
For 170. That there might be play here. I think it's just somebody who loves this stuff is gonna play it. I don't think it's actually great, but there's play here. Let's see. Talking about... Alright, let's talk about the actual units, because this is where the meat is, right?
Yep.
100 points, 1 wound, 10 guys, the Free Guild Steel Helms. And they have a priest thing. They have a priest in their unit, and it can consecrate objectives. And basically, things have a 6-up ward while they're on the objective, as long as it's consecrated. That's pretty cool.
Is it wholly on the objective, or just
wholly on the objective?
Okay.
So I guess if they're contesting a consecrated objective, yeah.
Okay, so that it's not wholly on them?
So the models that are on the objective get the 6-up ward. So if you have guys on the outside...
Oh, it's the awful bit. Oh.
Yeah. Those don't get it, but if you allocate them to the guys on the objective, they would.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because that just means you need to roll everything individually.
Yep.
Every single one. Oh, that's awful. Okay. I just hate that from a speed of gameplay perspective.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still a fine roll, but yeah. I
guess. Yeah. I mean, it's fine. Just like I just hate speed of play.
Let's see. And then each time this unit receives all-out attack or all-out defense, you can pick another steel helm within 12, or wholly within 12, and then they also get that order. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But they're the chaffiest chaff. So that's okay. You're going to take them because they're your only like free battle line. Unless you have specific heroes. Free Guild Cavaliers. This is the thing that we've all been waiting for.
I unfortunately need to just duck out for 2 seconds.
2 seconds. Okay. Alright. Yeah. Man, 9, 10. Yeah, overall, there's like a lot of trap units in this book. Kind of like Soulblight Gravelords. I think anything that's like old model lines and new model lines mixed. There's like a core of like 12 units that are very playable. And then just like a lot of like okay stuff. I think this book's no exception, right? So we'll see more. Yeah, we'll see what we're wrong about. But I think the Alchemite Warforgers are the main thing. That's like the obviously way too good unit. The Pontifex might be fine, might be a little too much. I think she's too much, but we'll see how she goes.
I am back.
Welcome back, Bill. Okay, let's talk about the Cavaliers. So they're 180 points for 5. 2 wounds, 3 up save. That's pretty good. Let's see. They're 3 attacks each, 3 threes minus 1/1. And on the charge, they add 1 to their damage and 1 to their rend. So, you have the order, if you remember, too, from Cities on the first combat they get into, they get +1 attack.
Yep.
And then, so they can be at 4 attacks, 3 threes, rend 2, 2 damage.
Mm.
And then you also have, like, if you can double order, you can give them +3 move, and then +1 attack on the charge. There's a hero that goes with them that gets +1 or +3 to charge if they use Finest Hour. So like, there's a really powerful power pair here.
Oh, probably, yeah.
So
now, did they get new models?
They did, yeah.
Okay.
And they look fucking sick.
I couldn't really tell from the picture there.
Oh,
it's just like a little blurry.
Yeah.
Whether or not like that's like a really sweet new model or just like
a really
old
well painted old model.
Yeah.
It's a new one, and it looks very good.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
But I did the math on this, and they do a little bit more damage than Chaos Knights on average.
Mm.
So they're very good, but the thing that Chaos Knights have is a lot, actually. Because they have, like, the change the lower dice to the higher one rule. They get 1 more wound each. They have the 5-up ward to mortal wounds, and then they have, like, the the bonds of battle with the spear, right?
Yeah.
But the 4-up to hit is really a big limiting factor for their damage.
Oh, it sure is.
Yeah. So, I think these guys are actually, like, insanely good hammers for their points.
How many points are there again?
180.
Okay, 180 for 5?
Yes.
Okay.
But they don't reinforce well. So I think it's like, I've noticed in a lot of these books, like 2 minimum-sized cavalry and their leader has been like a power pair that a lot of these armies can build to that does pretty good things.
Yeah, like Slaves is no exception there. That's like what I run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think you're going to see these a lot in this army.
Yep.
Alright, let's talk about the Fusiliers. Finally, we've mentioned them a lot.
Yes, we have.
So, they have 2 shots at 24-inch, or 12 at 1-inch if they moved. But you saw with the order, we can cheat that and just do the full. So you're usually using the top profile, which the leader gets 2 extra. So a unit of 10 for 120 is 22 attacks, 4 is minus 1/1. And you have multiple ways to make them do 6 sixes to hit or mortal wounds. You have ways to give them +1 to hit and wound. And let's actually talk about what fortified position is. It's when you're a fortified position, you can use the better attack profile, and you're immune to negative modifiers to save from ranged weapons.
That's pretty. So we originally thought it was all attacks, right?
We did, yeah.
We were like, "What is this?"
We're like, oh, this thing has 3 up ethereal. I never want to hear anyone bitch about Night Hunt again.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But
it doesn't. Yeah. So here we are.
And then once per game, it gets to reroll hits, but it has to be the 3rd round or beyond.
I mean, that is like right where the crucial round is gonna come in, right?
Yep.
So,
but it just stops you from being able to do any sort of alpha nonsense.
Yep.
Which is fine.
But I think that's fine, and also like not really the play pattern they're going for. I think this is like attrition over multiple turns.
Hold. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, but 120 for these, I think, is like ridiculously too cheap.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think we're gonna see armies with like 80 of these.
Oh yeah. Easy.
And that's like what?
Degenerate.
Like that's not. That's like a little more than 1,000 points, right?
Yeah.
For like 170 attacks at this profile. Like, remember when everybody thought Lumineth was a problem with their shooting? Like, you have no idea.
I mean, these guys at least don't do mortal wounds.
Alchemite Warforger disagrees. Curse too.
Oh yeah.
It's not as easy to get the 5-up mortal wounds, right? But
yeah,
I think if you look at the damage per point, these guys like blow them out of the water.
Probably true. They're probably worse against like heavily armored units, but
You're probably right, yeah. I
but
think
against
they're
an
going to be
average
like...
army.
I think this is
Yeah.
the cornerstone of the book.
No, I don't disagree with you
Yeah.
for the record.
This is the whole
Yeah.
book, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
And I think they're just the sickest models. I think they look so fucking good.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah,
definitely
I'm
do.
so into them. And then
Yeah.
the Fusel Major, who I think looks like shit. Honestly, I hate that thing.
Well,
The guy riding the ogre.
yeah. Oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah. But basically what he does is you add D6 inches to the range of one of your Castellite units. And he also has fortified position. And then he does like this really weird, like, if an unmodified hit roll for an attack made with a long fusel is 6 inches, so 3 shots with this, you can say that you attempt a crack shot. So on each hit roll of 6, you can do a crack shot. If you do, the attack sequence ends. After all the unit's attacks have been resolved, you can roll dice for each crack shot that was attempted. For each roll that is at least double the target wound characteristic, pick one model from that unit to be slain. I don't even know if I'm running that or using that over D3 damage most of the time. So, okay.
Yeah, wait, what?
And he is 180 points.
Oh.
So they put the bad model with the bad point cost and the bad war scroll. They did it. That's good. I'm happy to see it. Oh my god, my Discord is going off. Sorry, guys. Alright, and then the last... We got a couple more human things. We got the cannon. And this is the first time I think we've seen Ren 4 on a war scroll in the game. It's 150 points.
Alright.
Yeah. And you have 3 profiles. 2 at 24 inches, 2 attacks, 4 ups, 2 ups. And then the difference is Ren 2 D3 plus 2 or Ren 4 D6. So like
I always find it funny when they print something that's like somehow better than the literal hammer of Sigmar.
Oh yeah, Galmaraz, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
whenever they do that, I'm like, what?
Haywo made a point about this, which I thought was really funny. He did like a review of the models for Age of Sigmar and the heroes. And he's like, oh, okay, so I get it. The Hammer of Sigmar brings out like your best qualities, and it like makes you awesome. And you have to be a very strong person to wield it efficiently. So that just means that the Celestin Prime's a chump. Like he's just some fucking dude with a hammer who doesn't know what's going on.
Yep.
And that's why it's like that. So yeah, I can buy that argument.
That is a shit argument.
Yeah.
Literally, Sigmar was like, and you are my best. It's like, well, I guess you guys kind of suck.
Dude, like he had a friend who had a son named Kyle that needed a job. The Celestin Prime was made by nepotism.
God. It's like, dude, do better.
Yeah.
We gave you all these things, and that's it?
Exactly. But yeah, so basically, you just have those 3 profiles, and then there's a close range one that's 5 shots, 3s, -1, 2. Okay, this needs to stop. Can I mute Discord from here? I hope you guys aren't hearing it going off. You probably
I haven't heard it.
You have not?
I have not.
Okay.
I don't know if it's going through
Good.
to the stream, but I can't hear it.
Yeah. Because it's driving me nuts right now. Okay. Anyway, 150 points for those shots. I think it's like a tiny bit overcosted. But like, I don't know. It might be fine. And this might be like, you said the other guys suffer against high save things. This might be what you need to like punch through.
Right.
And honestly, like, 150 is pretty reasonable for that profile.
Mm-hmm.
And it only moves 3 inches, but then you have the order to make it move 6, so that's fine.
6 and stay fortified.
Yeah.
Does fortified matter for him? Yeah, it does.
Yeah, fortified is you need him to do the big shots, I think. And
yeah, so
fortified's the unrendable to ranged.
I find it funny that they always seem to do this. They introduce a mechanic, and then have like such an easy way to ignore that mechanic
Yeah, what are they
entirely.
doing? Yeah.
It's like why did you print the mechanic if I can just ignore it all the time?
Yeah.
Because like the one time I can ignore it, I'm gonna forget that I can't ignore it.
Yeah.
Because I ignore it all the time.
I think it would have been fine if they didn't ignore it with the +3 move, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it would just kind of be no good or whatever, but then it was like at least a mechanic instead of just like literally nothing.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. It's so weird.
So
Anyway.
weird. Yeah. All right, Steam Tank Commanders, 240, and then the Steam Tanks are 220. I think these guys are actually kind of good because they got a 2-up save, 12 wounds. They have a decent number of shots, and then they have a way to power up and add an additional shot to their guns. And then they have like a weapon profile that's like 2d6, and you can make it 3d6 also. Or you can give them like run and charge. Or yeah, I don't know. Like they think they have like a lot going for their point cost. And like maybe these tanks aren't cool, but I think tanks in general are cool.
Yeah.
And that's a 3D print if you really want to run these. And also
Oh,
the Steam
absolutely.
Tank Commander makes Steam Tanks battle line. So you could just have all tanks if you want.
I mean, they've got to do that in every book, right? Just
Yeah.
let you spam all the monsters, whatever they happen to be.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know if these actually count as monsters, but essentially.
I think are they war machines?
They are war machines. There it is.
Yeah, perfect. Okay.
I always forget that that's like a different thing because like no one has them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. Good stuff. And then we got like the Wild Corp Hunter, which is the Warcry warband with the dogs.
Moving on.
And like, well, they're kind of
Well,
cool.
are they good?
Well,
Okay.
I think like one of them is good.
Okay.
Wild Corp Hunters, they're 11 for 140 points. And they basically have like after deployment before the first battle round, you can make a normal move with this unit. And you can't shoot them unless you're within. If they're on cover, you can't shoot them unless they're within 12. And they get an additional rend on their guns. And like one of them has a really good gun with 2 shots. And then the rest of them have like okay guns. So there's not like a ton of damage. But just that pregame movement might be something.
How many points are they?
140
for how many?
11 of them.
140 for 11? Yeah, that's not bad, honestly.
I mean,
they're very close to Fusiliers, right?
Yeah. And like honestly, like you already have like 80 of them at like so little points. You might as well have like the tricky utility stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might as well
like,
throw this one in.
A full
just
move,
in case.
Yeah, like I don't know, like that just seems fine to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's 7 guys that shoot. That'll be so 7, 14 at 4s, 4s, -2, 1. And then 2 at 3s, 3s, -3, D3. So like the shooting isn't terrible.
Yeah.
I'm into them.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have like a bunch of like the underworlds, which somebody's gonna say they're good. Probably. I don't care. Gallon, Van Dance, and Dorelia are 1 unit now. And Dorelia does the same exact thing she used to do, but both of them together are 160. But she's a little bit worse because of the Lookout Sir rule change. She might see play, she might not. I don't think she's bad. The dwarf section of the book, the heroes really don't do anything. Except for give you orders. Longbeards, they don't run away on an extra 4-up. Hammerers are Ren 2, 2 damage, 2 attacks each. And they're like 170 for 5, I think. Might be 170 for 10. I gotta check that. I'm getting to the point where like, we're almost, yeah. Oh, they're 150 for 10. Okay. Ren 2, 2 damage. 1 wound, though. And if they're near a Warden King, they have a 4-up ward. Okay. This might be good. This is the good part of the dwarf book.
Okay, here we go. We finally got there.
Yeah. But again, I just think you're so incentivized to run everything else in this book. But if you want to run dwarves because you have a bunch, they're playable. This is good. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Iron Drakes, they're your shooting units for dwarves. They're more expensive than Fusiliers. And they have less shots. So I don't care. Iron Breakers, I think they get the 4-up award from the shield wall. Yeah, that's fine. And they're not that expensive. Cogsmith, I think it's some support piece. Don't super care. Oh, you can issue commands to the helicopters for free. And the helicopters, my friend Eric thinks they're really good. And I think they're I think they're kind of cheap. They're pretty fragile, but they have like a decent shooting platform. But I don't know. I think you have to be insane to not be a human in this book, and I don't think they're there.
It's basically like if you have the dwarves and you want to do it,
Yeah.
then you can.
But like they're reasonable for their point cut. Like they're only 80, the gyrocopters, and you can you can also reinforce them to a unit of 3, which is kind of funny.
That is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Is there like a reason to?
Oh,
if he has 2 or more models, one model can be the leader. Add 1 to the attack characteristic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, there's a reason.
Okay, that's
so it looks like 2 is the number.
2 is the number.
Yeah.
Sorceress on Black Dragon. She's got a 5-up save for a monster. That sucks.
Yeah.
She's got a breath weapon, which has an attack characteristic equal to the number of models in the enemy unit to a maximum of 10. So the best you can do is 10 shots, 3s, -1/1. Okay.
Meh.
You can issue the same command 2 times in the phase if they hit Darkling Coven units. Okay. And then she has like that weird... So she has... You roll 9 dice for each dice that's equal to or above their save characters. Oh, that's less than their save characteristic. They take a mortal wound. Okay. I don't care. She's like 240.
So the Black Dragon's not good enough?
Well, there's 2 Black Dragons.
Oh, okay.
That's one of them. So it's Sorcerer on the Black Dragon. She's 270. Damn. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
For that not very good War Scroll. Okay.
That is a lot.
Sorceress on foot. I think she's like 100. She might be 120. Let me take a look. 100. Okay. So she can sacrifice a Darkling Covenant unit and within 3 inches and add 2 to her casting rolls. Oh, here it is. Okay. And then her spell does D3 mortal wounds and gives something -1 to hit. But you're casting Tenebral Blades with her. Blackguard, 10 for 140. Their main thing is they have a 4-up ward near a Sorceress, and they give the Sorceress a 4-up ward. Designer note. This unit does not include Sorceress on Black Dragon units. So you cannot help the Sorcerer on Black Dragon survive whatsoever.
I mean, it makes sense, but also, that sucks.
Yeah, that sucks, yeah. Yeah, Bleak Swords, I think they're just cheap, is their power. Are they just... Oh, they're just Battle Line. So they're 100. And they just have exploding 6s on 4s, no round to 1 damage. Okay. Executioners are the beef. So they're 170 for 10. And 2 attacks, 3s, -1, 2 damage. And each 6 to hit is 2 mortal wounds. So that's pretty good. And they just look cool.
My stream is having a real hard time keeping up, so...
Right.
Yeah.
We're almost done.
Yeah, no. No, it's just, if I'm not saying a whole lot, it's because I can't even see it to figure out what's going on.
Alright, I'm just going to run through the rest of these.
Yeah.
And then when we get to the dragon, I'll slow down. Okay.
Perfect.
Dark Shards, they're just like chaff shooting. I think they're like Fusilier price. I can't even find them in here now. Oh, Dark Shards, they're 120 for 10. Yeah. 16-inch range, 2 attacks, 4s, no round to 1 damage. Yeah, Tenebral Blades only works on melee, thank God.
Yes.
Okay. Dread Spears are fine. And then the Dreadlord on Black Dragon. He's 14 wounds with a 4-up save. So, a lot better. So you can get a bunch of weapon options. So it's a spear and a shield, a lance and a spear, a blade and a repleting crossbow, or a lance and a repeating crossbow, or a pair of blades. So what the shield does is basically if you make a save roll, a 6 automatically works. So you can't rend it beyond. It's a 6 up invuln, so to
Okay.
speak. Which interesting.
Yeah.
The Dragon's Claws. Let's see. You have 6 attacks, 4s, 3s, -1, 2 damage. And the Fearsome Jaws are 3 attacks, 4s, 3s, -2, D3. You can reroll charges for Order Serpentis units wholly within 12 of this guy. The Spear gets additional 1 rend and 1 damage on the charge. And what's the Spear do for base damage? 4 attacks, 3s, 3s, -1, 2. 270. So with all the crap that we can put on him to be awesome, wicked cool, do you think he's worth it? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't think so. Maybe.
Dragons
I want him
are
to
cool.
be. I want
Love
someone to
charm.
do it.
Yeah.
But I just don't know.
But like 270 for like, if he's just like by himself giving himself the orders, and you have your whole other army doing something else, that might be okay.
Yeah.
But then you might be doing better other things. I don't know. War Hydra. Let's see. His special thing is he heals 5 wounds the end of every combat. That's great for a Hydra.
Yeah. No, that is solid.
Ooh, 6 attacks, 4s, 3s, -1, 3 damage.
4s, 3s, -1, 3 damage.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. How many points are you, buddy? How many points is that War Hydra? 180.
Huh.
He's a monster too.
I
Bill, is
actually
that
don't
reasonable?
hate that.
Is that a good guy?
Maybe. I think if he goes up against like certain targets, he's actually quite good.
I think he's reasonable.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Does his just attack profile suck? Is that what it is? I think that's what it is. I think that attack profile actually does nothing. It's one of those.
It's
that
not
looks
great.
good, but is nothing.
Yeah, because the best you can do is 3s, 3s. So it's probably like
So
3 of them
what?
probably land.
3 land.
So probably like actually 6 damage. Okay, that kind of sucks. All right.
Yeah, that's not good.
All right. Let's see. Drakespawn Chariot. I remember reading that and thinking that's a hard pass. And then Drakespawn Knights are 120 for 2 wounds and a 3-up save. And then they have the +1 rend and damage on their spears on the charge. So 2 attacks, 3s, 4s, -2, 2. They were really good as like an ally. It's just like some sort of chaff thing. And I think that's going to still be the same. They're 140 now, so they went up, but I think they're reasonable. But in this book, you probably just run the Cavaliers and just use all the synergies for 40 more points. Dark Riders, pass. Assassin was a hard pass. And then I think the Corsair stuff. The Chariot, I don't think I cared about. These guys, the Black Art Corsairs, are like 100 for 10. I think it was something like pretty cheap. Yeah. Oh, 90 for 10. Okay. So if your Fleet Master is the general, you all out attack them. You give them the pair of Vicious Blades, and then 4 attacks each with infinite rend with that spell. So there's probably something there.
Probably.
But if you have them, you're going to have fun with them. But if you're buying into this army, you're buying Fusiliers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But this army will do something in tournaments. And then the Charybdis is like the same thing as the Hydra. But instead of healing, it makes it so enemies can't do Inspiring Presence, and it's 160. But that's probably a pass, even though it's a cool model.
There's so many random units at the end of this book.
And we're done.
All right.
Whew.
Look at that.
Okay.
That was a long one.
Yeah. And I tried
Actually,
to.
it's only 9:30. That's actually short for us, believe
Well,
it or not.
we saw that we were not done with the factions, and then we just kind of rattled through the units.
Yeah, it's true.
But like, I think that's fair, honestly, because I think we spent good time on the Cavalier hero synergy. I think we talked
Right.
about the heroes decently, and then the rest of the stuff is just like they're colored entirely by the buffs in their book.
Right.
It's just like this is chicken. Chicken's good, but you need seasoning to do anything. And we
Yes.
spent so much time on the seasoning.
We did. We did.
So I think that's fair.
Yep.
Overall, though, like I'm very afraid of like the Fusilier double hero, like the double Alchemite Warforger lists. Like I
Yeah.
think those are going to be broken to a level we have not seen, and then they're going to get changed to like 150 minimum, and then they'll be inbounds. I don't think there's rules problems with this book necessarily.
Yeah, I don't think anything's crazy. I think just some of the point costs are just like out of whack.
Mm-hmm. The Tenebral Blade thing might be too crazy. But like I'm almost convinced that's gonna get like an FAQ to be like, oh, heroes weapons. But like we'll see.
Yeah, probably.
But overall, get your Fusiliers and get them now, boys.
Yeah, they're gonna be good.
They're gonna.
Do we know if even know what's in the box?
Oh, for the army box?
Yeah.
It's gonna be 20 steel helms, Cavaliers, a unit of 5, and an Alchemite Warforge.
So you don't even get any Fusiliers?
Mm-mm.
Oh, sad.
Yeah, of course,
Oops.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and I think they're allies. I think it's everybody. Yeah, Daughters of Cain, Fire Slayers, Ideneth, Kerdran, Lumineth, Stormcast, Sylvaneth, except for in Greywater Fastness. Okay, man.
Wait, Sylvaneth except for in Greywater Fastness?
Yeah.
Why did they put that limitation?
Well, because the lore is basically Greywater Fastness was like in this chaos waste, and they said they needed the Sylvaneth's help to get it out of there. And like the Sylvaneth held the line while they just like loaded up their weapons, and they basically blew up the chaos waste so hard that it made the land completely unlivable.
Yeah.
And Sylvaneth are super against it. So they're like, yeah, we killed chaos, but at what cost? Like it's worse now than it was.
Yeah.
So Sylvaneth actually hate them, and it's a really good like lore thing, but it's kind of silly here.
Yeah.
But it's also whatever.
But okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's not like a big deal.
Exactly. But overall, yeah, again, strong book.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I know that like 4 up -1/1, that doesn't seem like anything crazy. But I just think for 120, that's like 22 shots. That's like 10 points per shot. Like that volume is just enough to get through most things anyway.
Yeah, and the fact that you can like make it 3 up for free.
Yeah.
On a unit of 30.
Yeah, exactly.
With 24-inch range.
Yep.
I can still move even though and have the 24-inch range even though their war scroll says they can't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess the rule matters. If you kill all the heroes, they can't do that anymore. But the new Lookout Sword made it very hard to kill all the heroes.
Yeah, you just put one right behind them and be like, here we go.
Yep.
Done. Did it.
Oh, well.
Put some chaff in the front. You'll be fine.
Yep. We've done it.
We've done it.
Anyway, this was a long one. Even though it's pretty short for how big this fucking book is.
Yeah, it's true.
But I'm going to call it a night. We'll talk to you guys soon. I think we talked about we wanted to do a redesigning Nighthaunt video at some point. Maybe some other stuff. I don't know. We'll see.